What is happening, Dolphins fans, and welcome to another episode of the Fins Tailgate with your host, El Capitan. Tonight on the tailgate party that never seems to stop, 53-man roster cuts around the NFL happened. And for all the Dolphin fans and all the mock 53-man roster cuts or mock depth charts that everybody was doing, everyone got them wrong. A lot of surprises on the 53-man roster this year, and we're going to get into them all and break down kind of what the Dolphins were thinking as they manipulated this a little bit, because they're towards the end. You know, there was a couple guys waived early, and then they're towards the end. It's like they were holding on to a couple of players, and we were all waiting to see, hey, they got too many guys. They need to cut more. And a lot of moves were made. A lot of guys ended up on the puppy list, so they'll be gone for the next 4 weeks. We're going to get into all that. 2 guys on IR that can't come back for a little while. So we're going to get into everything, break it all down, position by position, see what this team was thinking. Hit the like button on the way in. Subscribe if you're new. If you're listening on the podcast network or anything like that, come over here to YouTube X, come over here to YouTube, subscribe over here, get in the chat, get involved in the community, hit the like button, share the videos, TFTGnetwork.com. Let's get right into it, guys.
Turner Yell makes the stop in the secondary for Denver. 1st and 10. The fake. Good block in there, and down it goes. Caught at the 30. This is the dynamic hill. He's in for 6. Tyreek Hill. Touchdown. What a block.
Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour, take a cold shower, scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder, and f*** all the doubters, they're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these f***ing clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it.
What is happening, everybody? Salute to everyone in chat. Get in here early. I see Lewis in here. What's up, Dolphin Nation? Getting it. Rolling up gelatos and colors. There you go. What's up? Telling everybody to smash the like button and subscribe. Salute to you. Brian's Brains in here. What's going on? Storm Duck. Yes, we're going to talk about him. John Featherland letting everyone know. Hit the like button. Scott Jackson in here. Michael K. And we're going to talk about that. Michael K. saying Mike White signed with a winning team. That literally just happened just now. Duke Thompson, what's good? Salute. Q, what's going on, buddy? J Miami Sports, what's good, fam? What's going on, dog? So hit the like button, everyone. Probably going to drop the link after a little while, too. I want to hear from you fans. Tell me what you guys think, because this is an interesting roster put together here on 53, man. I'm not going to waste too much time. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the homie who's in the backstage, Ali. What's going on, Ali?
What up, sir? Yeah, man. 53-man roster finally here. I don't think it's done yet. We'll see. Where I think there's a lot of moves to be had. Just curious, because I didn't get that news yet on my phone. Who did the Mike White sign with?
So Mike White, who was cut, a couple days ago, right? Like an early cut by him, just signed as a backup quarterback with the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, thank God. We know they're going to be trash. You don't want him, bro. Hopefully he tears your team down. Thank God.
Listen, Mike White joins fellow Dolphin cast-off wide receiver God, I'm blanking on his name. Holland. What's his name?
Mac Hollins? I think Thank you. I think they released him. I think. I don't know. Did they release him? Michael K? You would know.
bro, they were on the sidelines with their local reporters, talking to him. He's not wearing any shoes. He's a monkey man. He's a jungle boy. He's Mowgli. I mean, dude, they were eating up his fucking crazy antics all day. No, they didn't release him. I didn't think they did. They've got a terrible wide receiving group. That guy you guys took in the first round looks to be a bust. He can't save his life. Your quarterback's going to lead him, get him killed. But again, you know, Bills preparing for the worst, looking like more and more like a mediocring team that's on its way down rather than where it's been looking like they've been on their way up. With the latest signing of Mike White, embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? Embarrassing. Jay Meyer says he had a feeling that he would go to the Bills, and I think it's very fitting. Honestly, I think it's a marriage made in heaven. I think it's right place. Mike White continuing his tour of the AFC East. I give him about 3 years and he'll be on the Patriots, right? He'll complete this tour of the AFC East and we'll look back and Mike White's made, $25 million in the NFL as backup quarterbacks for the next team that needs him. So.
Well, good luck to Mike White. If that's where he wants to be, then fine, so be it. I don't expect anything from him, and it is what it is. I'm not worried, bro. We were sitting here saying our backup quarterbacks were trash, and we had to bring in new ones anyway. They just picked up more of our trash. That's all it is.
And it was painfully obvious that Skylar Thompson won the battle, right? And the Dolphins, after paying quarterback, have no business keeping a third quarterback. And by the way in which they juggled this roster this year with the PUP list and the IR list, insane who they chose and who they didn't choose to be on this 53-man roster, bro. Crazy. Again, I said it in the opener. Anyone who had a mock 53, everyone was wrong about the Dolphins. Nobody on earth had them having the amount. Bro, we got 4 wide receivers. We don't have a long snapper right now. Blake, beloved guy, great Twitter follow. Give Blake Ferguson a Twitter follow. He's a funny guy. He's not on the team. Now, oddly enough, when he gets back on the team, the Dolphins will have to re-sign him with a whole brand new contract, and he'll be put on the 53-man roster because you can't play football without a guy on the line. There's always 3 guys in the special team group. There's the punter, the kicker, and the dude that snaps it to him. That's it. That's the team. And we don't have one of those guys right now. And that should show you how close of competition this roster was to break down, Ali.
Yeah, definitely. It was very it is very interesting. I do think based on some of the moves we made that they're just fillers for more moves that I feel that are going to be made within the next 2 days, tomorrow and maybe the day after. But I'm not so worried and freaking out about this whole long snapper thing. First of all, if you really go back and look at history of it, we've done this before, where we release our long snapper only to re-sign him the very next day after they've cleared waivers. Long snappers are not like, oh my God, teams are going to grab him in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? And let alone, I personally don't value long snappers as much. So I mean, it's just, if we have, even if this, what's the guy's name? Andrew, right? What's the guy's name?
Which guy?
The guy we think that could be a long snapper, possibly on the offensive line. He's one of the offensive linemen. What was his name?
Oh, Andrew Meyer.
Andrew Meyer, right? If he's your long snapper, then so be it. What is he? Probably cheaper than what you had. You're saving money, probably. I haven't looked at Blake Ferguson's contract, but
no, Blake Ferguson's going to come back. I think the calculated move is that every team has a long snapper available to them, And there wasn't any injuries to long snappers this year where a team was looking for someone and had like 2 long snappers on their roster.
Yeah.
So that being said, even if another team did cut their long snapper and technically they have a 53-man roster without one, they're looking to re-sign that guy that they cut rather than a whole new guy potentially, right?
Yeah,
So I think that was
what I think is going to happen ultimately.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think it was a calculated move by the Dolphins. And, one that, should pan out, right? So, I don't know. Who knows? Hit the like button, everybody. But yeah, let's kind of get into it a little bit, right? Why not?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Listed right here, right at the top. No surprise at the quarterback, right? I mean, we know who the quarterbacks are.
I do expect us to bring another one in, maybe a developmental guy, or I don't know, man. There's some guys that might be available that I'm kind of interested in possibly.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. There is tons and tons of players available right now. So
Yeah.
if there's a guy that they want to add and bring to the practice squad, and keep him around here and there, and then he'll maybe end up being one of those guys that gets cut during the season and then brought back later at a later date, because you'll see plenty of players that are on the practice squad get cut. 1 week is elevated, then cut the next week. I mean, it happens all the time, right? So
Yep.
There's that. Maybe that's I'm sure. But again, and I predicted correctly. I know that I got some pushback from some people about my running back room. I figured they were only going to carry 5 rather than 6 like they did last year. Devon Achane, Alec Ingold, Raheem Mostert, Jalen Wright, obviously the new guy, and Jeff Wilson Jr. Jeff Wilson Jr. And early in the day, a surprise cut by the Dolphins was Chris Brooks, which they waived him, injury list waived him. He has been dealing with concussions, and I got to be honest, the concussion when it happened looked severe. I thought he got injured in his shoulder, but the fact that it's a concussion and it looked as severe as it did, and we know the running styles of Chris Brooks, how he's that big body, angry runner, concussion, getting concussed, being that style of runner has to have the Dolphins a little worried, which coupled with the fact that Jeff Wilson is plugged in with the head coach and what they do and how they like to be, and he's kind of that way, and healthy. That it was an easy call edge out to me.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at it in a certain way. First of all, we don't know what the medical report says about Chris Brooks, right? We know he's concussed. We don't know how severe. We don't know what's all involved in that. Plus, all of the flack that we've gotten in the past. Obviously, Miami want to do the right thing and not try to force him into, being a part of it. And I think they're taking the right approach. Releasing him, I think, was a good thing to do. Gives him time to recoup, figure things out, and whatnot. And then we can always add him to the practice squad at a later time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think because of that type of injury, and also not saying anything. I'm not saying teams wouldn't want him. I think if he was perfectly healthy, I think a team would grab him in a heartbeat. But because of that, if the concussion is that severe,
was healthy. If he was healthy, he probably was on the roster, right?
Oh, I don't think Jeff Wilson would be here. That's my opinion.
Oddly enough, wasn't Jeff Wilson injured last year and kept on the roster, and they kept Chris Brooks and brought him in because he wasn't? Like the roles are slightly switched this time around.
Yeah,
with them too. But
I think
I think he'll be back. But here's the thing:
Yeah.
How severe was the concussion? Because I know now there's grades and then there's certain protocols depending on the grade in which you get, in which case you have to be cleared for a full week before you can even play football. I would imagine that he could be ready to go week 1. But I also have to imagine there's not a team in the NFL that doesn't have at least 3 running backs they feel comfortable with on their rosters for week 1, rather than bringing in Chris Brooks, who's coming back from a concussion and would be a new addition on their team. And all of those reasons were why I thought, hey, Chris Brooks probably will be ended up a practice squad guy, even though I had him as one of the protected guys on my original. Well, I don't know if he was an original protected guy. No, he wasn't. He was. Yeah, he was. There he is in the IR right there. So, next up on this list, and probably one of the more shocking things about the list, we learned before the 53-man roster that Odell Beckham Jr. was put on the PUP list, right? And that he will not be. So, first of all, I don't want to say it's a shock, but in some ways it is. He is not going to be implemented into this offense till as early as week 5. And he's got no work in chemistry with the timing with Tua. And it's important. Tua's a left-handed thrower. Okay. And if you're going to measure what kind of quarterback Tua Tagovailoa is versus what Lamar Jackson was, that he was catching passes from last year, there's going to be some stuff you got to, try out. So OBJ, obviously more injured than we took, right? And I'm wondering if he's a guy that we'll even see before the bye week, man, to be honest with you.
Here's the thing. First of all, the Miami Dolphins were aware of the procedure he was going to have done anyways, and knew that it would be a chance that he wouldn't be available for, till, after the first game, at least. I think Miami Dolphins are making a smarter move here personally. Because one, I personally would like to have OBJ at his healthiest moment for mid to late season anyways. This is me, right? There are guys out there that we could still definitely grab. We definitely have money to play with that I feel that, we could definitely use in the beginning until he's ready. I'll give you an example. A guy that we were linked with. No, well, not Braxton Berrios. He made the roster.
I know, I'm just fucking with you.
I know, because I don't think he deserves a roster spot, and I think the only reason he's there is because Eazy-E was let go, and OBJ is not available, and River Craycraft's injured. Personally, you're going to have River Craycraft come back as well. You're going to have OBJ come back, so that's going to be like 2 new players right there. And then in addition, a guy that we were linked with that's still out there, and I wouldn't mind taking a flyer on just to see what happens. Michael Thomas is still out there. You know what I mean? He hasn't played in forever. He's not injured from what I understand. He's a guy we could do something with. I know there's people pointing to Noah Brown, which I kind of like him. We'd have to claim him off waivers, I believe. There's some guys out there we could definitely bring in or even maybe trade for at receiver. I'm not really worried, to be honest. There's another position, which I'll tell you later on, that I'm more worried about. But go ahead.
Well, here's the thing, right? First of all, and I'm just going to pull up who I had making it. And in my wide receiver room, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, OBJ, who ends up on the PUP, which I kind of figured he would get the PUP designation after because I thought he was closer to it, but I guess I was wrong. And that's an error on my part. Braxton Berrios, who made the team, Malik Washington, and oddly enough, with Odell Beckham Jr. ending up on the PUP list, Eric Ikuzama does not end up on the 53 and is waived with injury.
Can I ask a question about the PUP list actually real quick?
Yeah.
Can you, I know in your IR there's certain rules, but with PUP list, are you able still to do hang out with the team and go to meetings and maybe have some activity of some kind or anything? Or no?
Yeah, it's physically unable to perform. That's what PUP stands for. So they're not allowed to partake in physical activities, but they are allowed to be in meetings and teams and all that other stuff. So there is that. Now,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, at a point when it comes to plays and responsibilities and strategies and stuff for OBJ, I'm not worried about it. The only thing that might be concerning, like you kind of mentioned, is that connection with Tua being the fact that he's left-handed, right? So you got to work on that, I get. But everything else, I expect him to be fully up to speed on and ready to go when it comes down to it. Go ahead.
So the PUP list, you can bring those guys are designated, and you get I forget the amount, right? Because you get 8 spots in total, right?
Mm-hmm.
For your IR, and that IR is broken up into IR, which if you're designated IR, designated to return, they can come back, but they got to be out 4 weeks. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. They have to be 4 weeks. If you designate them physically unable to perform or PUP, they have to miss 1 to 4 weeks. And there's like a process in which they've got to get there. And anyone else that's listed on the IR before roster cuts down is season ending, which the Dolphins did have a season ending IR. Linebacker Wyatt Ray, a guy we didn't see at all. Apparently they like him because they gave him a seat. That's it. They'll never get that IR spot back. You know what I'm saying? They can't take that IR spot to hang on to someone to next year for anything. Now in the season, you have a total of 8 IR spots. So the Dolphins right now, they have 4 guys on PUP: Bradley Chubb, Cameron Good, Isaiah Wynn, Odell Beckham Jr. So that's half of the 8. Then they have IR guys of Cam Smith and River Craycraft. That's 2 IR guys. So there's 7 or 6. And then the 7th guy is the Wyatt Ray. Now, Cam Smith and River Craycraft have to be out for the designated time and to return, which it's a minimum of 4 weeks. So both those guys are gone. Bradley Chubb, Cameron Good, Isaiah Wynn, Odell Beckham, they can come anytime. 1 week, they can come back week 2 if they meet the program, whatever. It'll keep going. So that being said, they maneuvered the roster in such a way. Now, if you look, let me pull it up real quick.
There was a guy I think we're forgetting. I don't know if they released him or if they put him on IR. Cam Good. Whatever happened to him?
No, Cameron Good. I just said that. Cameron Good is on the PUP list.
I thought you said Cam Smith was for a second. I'm sorry. Cam and Cam. I got confused. My bad.
Both of them are on there. Yeah, so Bradley Chubb, Cameron Good, Isaiah Wynn, and OBJ are on the PUP.
Gotcha.
And then Cam Smith and River Craycraft are on the IR designated to return. Now, when I did my prediction, I had us taking up all of the spots. I had us clearing up every single spot, in which case they could they could maneuver it in a different way, but they chose to keep one spot open so they could take someone from their 53 and put them in a designation, right? Like an IR, in which he'd have to miss 4 weeks and bring him back. But then they'd have an extra roster spot to put Blake Ferguson back on the team. You see what I'm saying? So they really like a lot of the guys that they kept, apparently. At least we're right on that. Again, oddly enough, Chris Brooks not there. But let's get to the next group, because, well, I guess let's with Braxton Berrios making it, Malik Washington, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill. There's only 4 wide receivers on the 53-man roster at this moment. Typically, a team brings 5 to game day. So I wonder, a couple things. Number one, Tanner Connor made this roster. What's up, Mr. Polt?
Hey, how's it going? Have Captain and Ali.
What's going on, buddy? So, Tanner Connor making this roster, right? We know Julian Hill and the Dolphins like him. We all know what Durham Smythe can do. And new addition of Jonnu Smith, which honestly, we saw him used in a lot of different ways in the preseason. I think they're going to use him a lot.
Yeah.
Only having 4 wide receivers, are they looking to this tight end room and this running back room to get as many snaps as we all thought they were going to get, right? Like,
I don't mean to toot my own horn, bro, but I tried to tell you. I tried to tell you that this was a possibility because I could see them lining up some of these tight ends in that wide receiver role like they've been trying to do. They've been showing you, but they've been trying to do this for the past 2 seasons, right? They picked up Tanner Connor. Then we ended up getting that kid last year only to release him because we thought he was going to make the practice squad, and they end up getting picked up right off of waivers. So it's just a matter of that now they have that personnel. They can do something like this. But part of me also feels that the only reason that we have 4 tight ends is because of the lack of receivers that we have. Right?
well,
Good.
I think we all talked about it, that we need to distribute the ball in the passing game. We need to get the tight ends more involved. Mike McDaniels talked about it.
Yeah.
We talked about using Devon Achane as the widest guy on there because of his speed, and he'll have to force safety top over. And if they don't, and they go, oh, I got to play underneath because Tyreek Hill's out there, and you got to, just think about it. If you got Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Devon Achane, and insert any other pass catcher you want as the 4th wide receiver, the mismatch is going to be there somewhere. And if they take a chance on the boundary with Devon Achane, we're going to take that shot. And if he gets it, if he catches it, it's a home run. It's done. He's housing that thing because that's just how the route. It's a go route, bro. It's a move and a go route typically. And if he's running as fast, there's not a lot of people that can keep up with him. And if Tua can put the ball out front of him, it's over. My point is them carrying 4 wide receivers a shock, right? I don't care what anybody says. Because, I mean, they carried 6 last year. I figured they were going to carry 6. Some people were talking crazy that they'd carry 7 because of how injured the group is. And technically, they only carried 5 with putting OBJ on the PUP list. They've got 4 playing able-bodied wide receivers on the 53-man roster. And I see people that are like, oh, they're going to sign a wide receiver. They're going to do this. Well, I just want to point things out, right? You have to fill your practice squad. So are they signing someone to put on the practice squad? Or are you talking about they're going to sign somebody before they can start signing practice squad player guys? Because if anyone signs anybody right now, that means somebody on this 53-man roster has to be cut. Okay? That's it. Someone has to be cut. So you're going to have to wait until practice squad players they're able to sign before the Dolphins go and get anybody. Okay? And there's definitely dudes on here that they will protect. I forget how many practice squad players you could protect, but they'll put protections on certain guys.
I want to say it's 2 people. I want to say it's 2.
I would be shocked if they rolled out game day with 4 tight ends. You know what I'm saying? So that's not going to happen.
That's kind of why I think that rooms like the tight end room and maybe the safety room, I hate to say this since we have 5 safeties, I'm wondering if they might drop somebody from there to fill that additional wide receiver person if we bring somebody in. You know what I mean? Because you're going to have to drop somebody to bring him to the active roster.
Well, again, Ali, maybe it's not as important to them anyhow. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they're going full tilt in that we are going to have small, speedy, shifty pass catchers, and then we're going to have big, gigantic, dudes and the tight ends and the running backs that we're gonna throw the ball to. No more big body wide receivers looking downfield. To hell with that. We want our quick. They take too long to get downfield. So give me speed downfield quickly. And then everyone else underneath, they're the second read and they're a big body guy, or they're the first read and it's to get them out into space with the ball on like I'm faking everything to the right, and I turn around and there he is, leaked out the other side. It still only took under 3 seconds, right? So that might be the plan going forward. I do think there's another wide receiver added. I do think that it'll be somebody you very well might see week 1 on game day. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they say, look, Malik, we're going to let Braxton be the returner all game. We're not going to have you start week 1. We're going to let the new guy we got in, I don't know, whomever. But there is someone going to be added, but I don't think it's going to be till practice squad. Dolphin fans, don't get your hopes up, because I'm looking at the loss of what I had projected as 2 more wide receivers on here, and that tells me the Dolphins have put an exuberant amount of emphasis on what they're going to do with targets in the passing game outside of the wide receiver room. Okay, we know Tyreek Hill's getting a bunch. We know Jalen Waddle's getting a bunch. There's not a lot to go around in that room anyhow. Okay, you might as well. Who are we going to throw it to? The rookie, which I want to see Malik Washington get some. Braxton Berrios, I don't mind us using him. New guy, if any new guy that comes into this wide receiver room not named Odell Beckham Jr., I'm not choosing over Devon Achane, Jonnu Smith, Julian Hill, Raheem Mostert. I'm not choosing any new guy that a Dolphins fan's going to put into the wide receiver group that deserves passing attempts over any of the dudes I already possess. So I just want to point out what I'm thinking they were thinking on this. And it tells me that they have an onus on spreading the ball to the other 2 position groups in the passing game, and we're going to see a lot of it.
One thing I'll also say in addition to that is that it kind of makes sense why they can afford to do this. If you really think about it, our schedule is really bottom heavy. The end of this schedule, I think it's like the last 6 or 7 games or whatever. That's where we play the toughest teams, in my opinion, in this schedule. So really, those first half of the games, I mean, to be honest, we can dick around with the players that we have on this roster and see what we really absolutely need before we bring people in, to be honest, or make a trade if we're going to go that route.
Well, I don't want to dog on your take a little bit here, Ali. I'm not trying to come at your throat.
No, I haven't even finished yet. Let me land on the take first, and then you can dog on it. I don't mind.
All right.
Basically, what I'm saying is that the reason it's okay, kind of where we're at. I understand that those 2 guys are going to get everything anyways. It's all right, but I think because of how the schedule's set up, it's okay that OBJ starts up on the pup. You know what I mean? It's okay that Cam Smith might be on the IR for right now, and even Chop and stuff like that. What I'm saying is that it gives them time to be their healthiest when we go to play those toughest teams. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you get where I'm going with that?
No, I got you. Your hope, okay. The hope is that Cam Smith comes back healthier and a little bit wiser and a little bit in better position to be successful later in the year because there's more time involved. And also, I would rather wait. And I think this team currently constructed doesn't need Odell Beckham on there. And when he does come back and become a factor in the way I expect him to be, it's going to be another cherry on top of the weaponry we already possess, right? I can agree with those.
I see what you're saying with that. Yeah, that's
and I can also agree that potentially guys with their frame built and skill set is probably more effective later in the year in that aspect, right? Like when the games get a little bit more physical and teams are a little bit more beat up and it's colder, so everyone's moving a little bit slower, unless they're in a dome or something. Anyhow, my point is that to me, if somebody really got into the analytics on the numbers with the special the receiving wide receivers, tight ends, and running back group, and they got really into the nitty gritty on touches, not just passes, but touches have to be weighed in this. And this team being outside zone, timing offense, everything's going to go this way while this side opens up. or, whatever. My point is they use all sides of the field. That's the different. That's what the offense is, guys. Just so you know. My point is that Eric Ikuzama was a guy who I've figured needed to be cut. I see all the talent in the world. I see what could be. I don't see how this team utilizes it the way in which tells me. I would rather have Durham Smythe as the played up, hook route, or comeback, whatever it is, 6-7 yards downfield and getting the ball. Because to me, Eric Ikuzama is going to have to line up in the slot and run a freaking route to where very well may or may not get open, where to me you can scheme up Durham Smythe wide open. So like someone had to get really into the nitty gritty with touches as well. Jalen Wright probably put a lot of pressure on this. They're like, this kid's got to play football today. Jonnu Smith, the multiplicity in which it appears that they're going to use him. This guy's got to play. Tanner Connor, proving that he can be a deep, threat. You can go over the top with him. He has that speed. He's got the size. It's just they made it completely a different looking weaponry than what I expect that we saw last year. We're still going to have the things we have. I just think the things that we did on other plays are going to look completely different with the guys we possess. I can't wait to see how this team's going to use, Jalen Wright, Devon Achane, and Mostert. And how do you prepare as a team in the same series, right? The same possession. Dolphins have the ball 4.5 minutes long, and they rotate in all three of those running backs and use them all different ways. And the second you're trying to peek in on that, you don't see that they handed the ball off to Jonnu Smith on a sweep. It's just they're going to do some stuff with these guys.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't think this fifth wide receiver could even shoehorn his way into them going, oh, I need to use that talent next over what they already possess. What do you think, Mr. Paul?
Well, to tell you the truth, when the season was over with, I had got a feeling that McDaniels was going to change the offense around anyway, and go and pick up more tight ends, because basically the tight ends we had last season, we barely used the tight ends. So I kind of felt that there was a change coming, and I think Tua knew it also, because that, to me, that's why he went and started his off-season training right away, because I guess Danes may have told him that, hey, I'm getting ready to make some big changes and what have you on this offense, and we're going to bring in more schemes, we're going to bring in some more tight ends and what have you, and oh my goodness, Jalen Wright, this man is a beast. He's going to be a force to reckon with. But I'm happy with. My only thing is, do y'all think we're going to keep the other tight end that was looking good? How do you say his name?
Hayden Rucci. Oh yeah,
Right.
I gotta imagine he's a dude they're looking to hopefully put back on the practice squad, and he'll probably clear too. He'll probably clear too. So there's a ton of guys that they're gonna bring back on this practice squad. Again, I mean, Nick, a surprise cut. We didn't even get to the position group. Nick Needham. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's move from tight ends to offensive line. Now, I had us in the O-line group only taking 9, right? I had Teron Armstead, Robert Jones, Aaron Brewer, Liam Eichenberg, Lester Cotton, Austin Jackson, Patrick Paul, Kendall Lamb, Jack Driscoll. And I was right on those 9. All those guys made the team. The 10th and final guy that they sought to put on this football squad is Andrew Meyer, the UTEP center. Listen, God bless the man, right? And now the Dolphins did carry 10 O-linemen last year. I thought that they were going to only carry 9 and add somebody, and they very well may still do that. Andrew Meyer might get cut, tomorrow and the Dolphins look to the waiver wire with all the cuts for a more accomplished and or desirable center, because there's a couple that are out there, right? But as of right now, Andrew Meyer, which I'll leave, that was one of your dudes, right?
Andrew Meyer, no, not at all. I called him a camp body. He was not somebody I expected to make this roster, to be honest. I liked Matthew Jones because we needed a run, guard so badly, and I don't know. I'm still, that's the big question mark on my teams right now, is what are we doing at guard? There is another. There was somebody that got dropped today that I'm kind of interested in to kind of see what's what with him. But that will come via waiver wires if we pick him up or not.
Yeah, and again, if they did go guard or center, and the Dolphins don't want to, take up that final pup or IR or whatever you want to call it designation they got laying around there, they could cut a guy like Meyer, and it's in the same group. So if you lost one, you got one. Maybe look to add him back on the practice squad. That could very well still happen, as well as there's going to be somebody getting added to this team after to the practice squad on the O-line, I think. Or maybe they're just not as worried about it as the rest of us are. I feel like, it's something to worry about, but maybe here's the question, and I don't foresee them doing it, but would they go out week 1 with Andrew Meyer at the center position and Liam Eichenberg at right guard and Jones at left guard? Would they do that? What do you think, Mr. Polk? Could they do that? I don't know. I don't think so, right?
That's a very good question because, like I said on some other platforms, the center position has always been my concern until brought up Andrew Meyer. What is Andrew Meyer's what's the word? Size and what have you?
I want to say he's like, don't quote me on this, he's like 306'2", 300 pounds. Mm-hmm. He's kind of a wide body guy, really. And look, I remember seeing him in the preseason being effective a lot, but would they bring him in as day one? Here's the odd thing, right? It confuses me why Andrew Meyer's on the roster and not another position guy, because it kind of signals that maybe Aaron Brewer is ready for week 1, right? But it also signals in the opposite direction that he's definitely not going to be ready week 1, and they need a backup center in Andrew Meyer. But I wonder this, right? Jack Driscoll playing center, were they not pleased? That's why they kept another one.
I don't want Jack Driscoll playing center, bro. I'm sorry. I'd rather have, and personally, if I'm Miami Dolphins,
I'd rather him play guard.
I'd rather have Eichenberg playing center, bro. Eichenberg actually can do it and win games. You know what I mean? It's a matter of, I don't even understand why we're playing this experiment. I hate how, I love the Miami Dolphins. I will support them no matter what. But I hate how we try to put different shapes in the wrong shape hole. Do you understand what I'm saying? It just does not make sense to me.
Yeah, because to me, Eichenberg did well when we placed him at center. And, I'm not trying to put down Brewer, but I'm still concerned, even when he comes back up, I'm still concerned about his size being on the offensive line. But just like Ali said, I'm more comfortable with Eichenberg at center than Brewer. Now I'm not putting Brewer down. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I'd put Eichenberg at center, and go get yourself an actual guard. I don't understand why we're playing this game. Now, the only reason that I could see why the Andrew Meyer was actually kept personally. Andrew Meyer is truly your backup center if we're really rocking with Brewer, and that means you're forcing Eichenberg to play a position that, in my opinion, is not his best position, and that's guard. And I think that's a big mistake. Just my opinion. Until he proves me wrong, which last year Eichenberg definitely proved me wrong. I thought he was trash prior to the beginning of the season. They threw him at center, and he was halfway decent. So the first game wasn't pretty, but after that, it got better and better. I just don't understand what they're doing.
So let's do the exercise then. Aaron Brewer not on the game day roster week 1. The Dolphins' interior starting 3 is Eichenberg at center, Jones at left guard, and Cotton at right guard.
Yeah, I guess you would have to go that route. Yeah,
I could live with it.
For week 1, I could definitely live with it. No problem. I still think they bring somebody else, but it's just a question of who's going to be dropped if that's what they do.
Well, whether they bring somebody else or not doesn't matter. They wouldn't be on the game day roster. Who would be the guy they brought? Are they bringing Driscoll or are they bringing Meyer? They got to bring Driscoll. Or do they bring them both? One for backup guards. They're going to need probably both. I mean, dang, dude. This team is different. This team is different in how it looks and how it operates. Losing Hunt and who's the backup guy, and then losing Isaiah Wynn, who's going to be on
the
IR
biggest
for a
hurt.
while.
To be honest, this whole situation wouldn't be so bad if Isaiah Wynn was healthy right now, because Isaiah Wynn would be your left guard for sure, and I would rock with Robert Jones as your right guard.
Yeah, me too.
And then you have Lester Cotton to back him up, and then Eichenberg can be
or they could do what they did. And
yeah,
I know.
And
there's less answers and more questions now that with Jack Driscoll and Meyer.
Yeah, and Eichenberg could be your could be either your starting center or backup center if Brewer was available. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, like, having Isaiah Wynn out has created so many questions now. It's not healthy. It's not healthy for fans, the team, nobody. It sucks.
It does suck.
I'm sorry for being a downer on it, dude. I tried to look at the positive side. I just don't see it. That interior offensive line scares me right now. That's basically where I'm at.
Scares us, right? But I'm gonna be all right rocking with the 3 dudes that have been on this team the past 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, fine.
Yeah.
If they were gonna rock with these 3 dudes, fine. I think it would have just better served the team. And I hate it. I keep saying it. That those were the 3 guys projected to be the starters all along, and we've addressed behind them in the draft and in free agency in young talent to train up. That would make me feel better rather than rolling the dice with Wynn, which fine, we can still keep Wynn and put him on IR, and then going and getting Aaron Brewer. But hey, whatever. I can only do what I can do.
So I just wasn't happy with that. With the choice of going and get it Brewer, but maybe they know something I don't. I just don't know. It's always been my concern since last season, and I'm still concerned about it.
So Pete in chat, what's happening, Pete? He says, quick question. Is this roster better than last year's roster? I would say,
in certain positions, yes, but not all around, I don't think.
I would say this. And this was kind of when I was doing my roster projections and we were having a hard time. We were rotating in a lot of the names. Me and Ali went into it pretty in depth, rotated a lot of the names that we both agreed upon that could not be on this roster while others are added, right? And, we're going to get into the defense here directly. But like Nick Needham not making this team and Storm Duck making it shows you how perceptively to me, our ceiling starting out isn't where it was. but our floor is far and away higher than it was last year. So take that for what you will, right? I think our ceiling with our O-line losing Robert Hunt, we just got through talking about how the O-line isn't what it was last year. And the reduction of Robert Hunt and Connor Williams and Isaiah Wynn, all three interior guys that played games last year, all three not going to be here week 1, and all three not on the roster right now, even though Isaiah Wynn is, he's on IR. So not on the 53 at this moment. And those three things changing over, I find that floor or that ceiling to be lower. Starting out. Also on the defensive side, loss of Christian Wilkins. Say what you will, but Christian Wilkins is one of the best defensive tackles in the NFL. I didn't want to pay him what he got, and that's why he went away.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say the Calais Campbell edition almost negates it, but I can't necessarily say the youth of what, because here's the thing. Calais Campbell this year will need to be measured with Christian Wilkins this year to have an accurate description of what we're missing from last year. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the stat in which if we had Christian Wilkins and not Calais Campbell, this is what I can insert as a Dolphin stat, which isn't going to be. So if I look at it in those terms, I gotta assume that it's a minus. Now, as the defense as a whole, I don't know, right? I do think depth-wise, because of Ethan Bonner, I love Ethan Bonner. I think Storm Duck is really good, and it proven, why did it. Our safety room being what it's been, and we're going to talk about that too. And now we got 5 safeties, which is crazy. Saran Neal, who made this team, special teams dude, an ace. He's the best. We didn't have. We still have Elijah Campbell, but Saran Neal, who played well in coverage too. I don't care what anybody says. If you go back and watch the preseason games, you can see him playing very good out there in coverage. He's also the special teams ace as well. I just think that the floor in a lot of position groups came up. The tight end room, head and shoulders better. The running back room, head and shoulders better. You know what I'm saying? So when you measure where we went up in to where we went down in, I feel like the floor is much higher in depth and or position groups. Maybe our ceiling is lower.
The way you just described that, El Cap, to be honest, if you really think about it, maybe depth-wise, our team is much better all around. Maybe you can say that. Because if you really think about it, where we're hurting, we're in the reverse of what happened last year, right? Whereas we were healthy at the beginning of last year and we won all those games and then start having all of those injuries back to back to back to back for the rest of the season that wasted out so many players. It seems like a lot of these hold on. It seems like a lot of these guys now are injured in the beginning of this season and are going to be healthy for when we need a mid to late season. You know what I'm saying? It's like the reverse of last year. It's just weird. If you know what I mean.
So Pete thinks it's funny, and hit the like button, everybody, please. Look at it like this. I think a higher floor is what this team needs because we still possess what this team has been successful on the past 2 seasons, and that is Tua, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, the speed, the Mike McDaniel scheme, and the weaponry to make it happen and be really good. Where the team has failed the last 2 years has been depth coming in, injuries, and us losing a step. I think this team, by raising the floor, creates a better depth that we're going to find out this season if it warrants better results. That's what we're looking to see because the formula has shifted a little bit. They went real top heavy. We're going to get far away out in front of people. But once people got banged up and we started losing things, the Dolphins couldn't keep pace anymore. And the other teams, when they're in their depth pieces and or whatever, we slowed down too much and it was a failure. So to me, they're looking at I've got a lot of guys on my D line now. I've got a lot of guys that I'm going to pick from in my O line group. So that's all there's got to be some systematicness difference. Just like we pointed out earlier in the show with they're only carrying 4 wide receivers on the 53, but they got 4 tight ends. And I think everybody, any Dolphin fan would have thought at the end of the season that we should have a little bit more spreading the ball around. Damn, there was fans going at Tyreek Hill, mad at him being 2,000 yards because they feel like it's taking away from the effectiveness on this offense. And there's some credence to that too, right? Like that is true. Tua and them, they've talked about that being important to them, which is good to be competitive, but it's bad when if I can get my tight ends in the mix in the passing game and I can get my wide receivers or my running backs in the mix of the passing game, we're more effective as an offense rather than trying to have the greatest wide receiver in the NFL, which he was. Dude was number 1 in the NFL literally last year. So we know that can work, but it didn't work into the team goals. And Tyreek Hill's talked about this. Tua's talked about it. They know it. They understand it. So I don't have to be critical of them because they hear it and they understand. And the team has shown. Mike McDaniel talked about getting these guys involved. Now we got 4 tight ends. We know Devon Achane going to line up at wide receiver. If Devon Achane plays half his snaps at wide receiver, inevitably that means we're going to see Jalen Wright in the backfield as a runner more often. See what I'm saying? They're not going to, you're going to see Jalen Wright in the backfield as a single back while wide receiver, running back Achane's spread out wide. Why not? They've only got 4 wide receivers. Why not do it? They will. See what I'm saying? The combinations of position groups and how this team's going to start utilizing them just on personnel alone and from their own admission over this past entire offseason tells me, and the 53-man roster confirms it, that this is what I can expect from this offense coming out. I'm going to look to see it. I can't wait. I think it's going to be good.
Same here. I can even picture 2 tight ends on the field at the same time with one of make down the special scheme plays.
Yeah, I'm definitely down for the multiple tight end looks. I'm even down to seeing like Achane and Jalen Wright on the field together, or Mostert, or all 3 at once, possibly. If we do something like that, I'm interested to see the different combinations of player groups that we put together.
Here's the thing, right? We talk about all these different combinations and stuff like that, but the long play is that I can have Jalen Wright play the running back and take some of the hits that Mostert can now give to me in week 12 and week 13. You know what I'm saying? I can have Tyreek Hill, who got nicked up, could play, would play, wants to play. I want you to rest. You're not playing this week. And I'm not going to lose who I would put in that role, split between Jalen Waddle and now Devon Achane. See what I'm saying? And now with this happening, they're keying up. Well, now I've got a drag route with the new tight end Jonnu Smith. There's gonna be some cross player duties, as we know this team always does, between all the tight ends are gonna do fullback stuff. The fullback stuff's gonna do tight end stuff. They're utilized in the run and passing game. And they're going to be handed off the football sometimes. How many times we see Julian Hill as a rookie last year with his hand in the dirt as a fullback? See what I'm saying? The multiplicity of what they want to do on any given play, they have different personnels that they're going to ask to do it. They're going to have these running backs play wide receiver and these tight ends play wide receiver. And also everyone's going to play in the run game. And then see what I'm saying? You think you've got me with 1 wide receiver on the field, but you're not accounting that the other 3 guys I have out there is Devon Achane, fucking Julian Hill or not Julian Hill. Let's go Tanner Connor and fuck, I don't know, any other son of a bitch you want to put in there. Jonnu Smith. I've got 2 tight ends and a running back and only 1 wide receiver. I got Jalen Waddle out there. But it looks like a heavy package. I ain't going to be throwing the ball. There's probably going to be some kind of run or something. Nah, we're going deep. We're going deep. What? What do you mean you're going deep? That's what I'm looking for this team to put on players and put on teams. Plus, I mean, look, the key to postseason success is us controlling our own destiny late in the year and ending up with home games.
Yeah, we got to make it over that hump.
That's it. So let's get into the next group here. We've got the linebackers. Or excuse me, not linebackers. We got defensive linemen. We know Calais Campbell was going to be the guy, right? He was definitely making this team. We also know Zach Seiler definitely making this team.
Yeah.
Benito Jones is a guy that I had making, and also Brandon Peely, but Deshaun Hand makes the team over Jonathan Martin, which when Ali, you and I talked about it, I said they could go either way with this. I think Martin probably wins it over it. I just thought, maybe he'd have the edge on the Weaver scheme, but shout out to Deshaun Hand, try hard, disruptive, guy in Deshaun Hand, a guy we all saw at camp last offseason. We were like, hey, and he was all buddying up to Christian Wilkins and Zach Seiler. He's the little sponge that they got. And you could tell he was a guy that was really, trying to make some noise. And now he ends up on the 53-man roster. What'd you think, Ali? I thought you had this guy on yours.
Which one? Which guy?
Deshaun Hand.
Yeah, Deshaun Hand, I think he definitely showed up during preseason. He was very good against the run, and he definitely showed me he can handle himself. We've had him, last year too, so I've had my eye on him, and I can see what they see in him. It's very interesting with the defensive tackles that we kept. We still kept Pilly on this team. But I think the biggest thing that was kind of different for me is if we're keeping Pilly, I expected a Gallimore or somebody like that to be that true nose tackle. And that's something I think we have, except for Pilly. I think Pilly's the only true nose tackle we have on this team.
And I even think Brandon Peely is also not that anymore. They want him as a shade technique in a 4-man front from here on out. I don't think they're going to use that. I think they want to have this interior size that can maneuver to the outsides, and they can maneuver the speed from the outsides into the insides with looks. And, I think they're going to use the linebacker. We're gonna have to see what this Weaver defense looks like. The personnel tells me there is some changes to how they operate, right? How they're going to want to go to a big defensive front to have the fill gaps. So, and open up with a hat on a hat for linebacker blitzes, something the Dolphins didn't typically do. They would usually bring a, safety blitz or a corner blitz on obvious passing downs and leave man-to-man coverage out there. This time they're going to go ahead and, dial up underneath the field for underneath the field being open for linebacker blitzes, which is a little different. So I don't know if that's going to be regular what they do, but maybe it is. I don't know. It's just what it appeared to me in the preseason, at least, and what it appears to be in having 5 defensive linemen that are all, true linemen, whether they're tackles or DNs. You know what I'm saying? Like they could have a situation where they've got 4 dudes up front. They could be Hand, Jones, Campbell, and Seiler. You know what I'm saying? And have Seiler and fucking Calais Campbell as defensive ends. and against a team that wants to run the ball against them, and just have the linebackers come in and fill holes, and then on passing downs rotate in the other guys, as well as Agba, who's in the linebacking group. He's been on either a linebacking group or a D end group. No one knows I think he's more of a D end, kind of like Mo Kamara. But I don't know, man. There's some questions about what we'll see from this Weaver defense, and personnel wise, it tells me we're definitely gonna see some different style of defense.
Yeah, man, I will agree with you. It does seem like they're looking for the big wide guys to fill the gaps, and all the speed and explosion coming from the outside, for blitzing or going after the quarterback. I don't really see. I don't know. It's very different. I don't really know exactly what kind of defense we're looking at yet.
So, what do you think, Mr. Polk?
No, I was about to ask, what happened to Leonard Payne? Do we still have him?
No, he got waived.
Yeah, he got cut.
Oh, okay. Well, I saw flashes of him, but I guess they didn't see enough with him. No, I mean, no, go ahead.
Not overhand, apparently. He was the guy that projected to me as the bottom guy in this five, and obviously Payne and the other guys didn't show more than what Hand can do.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna go into the linebackers. They put pass rushers, outside linebackers in with off-ball linebackers here. I'm gonna do my best to try to separate the two. Let's go with. All right, let's just go through it. Quentin Bell makes the team. Jordan Brooks. Mo Kamara makes the team. David Long Jr., Emmanuel Ogbah, Jalen Phillips, Duke Riley, Chop Robinson, Anthony Walker Jr., and Channing Tindall making the team. Cut early was the guy I did have making the linebacker unit. Was what's his face? See if hold on, let me turn the thing on because I can't see the bottom. Where's it at? Damn it. Nope, that ain't it either. There it is. David Long Jr., Jordy Brooks, Anthony Walker Jr., Curtis Bolton, Duke Riley were my standing inside linebackers. Bolton not making the team, got cut early, and Channing Tindall over him. I know a lot of people believe that he should have got in over him. I guess you were right. I think Bolton was better in the preseason, but Bolton will probably be there come waivers too, which is why when you and I were talking about it the other day, Ali, I said, if they went the other way because they thought Channing Tindall is more likely to get picked up by another team, I could see why. Mm-hmm. And I'm guessing that's ultimately what they did, because I would not be surprised if Bolton gets picked up and he's on the game day roster while whatchamacallit isn't.
Yeah, it was one half dozen the other. I think they just went with Tindall because, they've invested draft capital. And, maybe Bolton doesn't get picked up and we can still grab him, out later on.
Well, he was a practice squad guy with Cincinnati last year, so chances are he's not getting picked up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's probably the likelihood. Whereas they just said, hey, let's not risk it with Tindall. Maybe somebody's seen that sack and got, excited. Now, for my outside linebackers, I had Jalen Phillips, Chop Robinson, Mo Kamara, Emmanuel Ogbah, and Quentin Bell. And those, there they all are. Quentin Bell, Jordy Brooks, Mo Kamara, David Long Jr., Emmanuel Ogbah. Everybody's there. The only one I had wrong was the one I said probably won't make it. A lot of people not having Duke Riley making their 53-man roster projections. And Duke Riley had a tweet about it, thanking God, thanking that for another opportunity. Been with the Dolphins a little while now, a couple of years now. I mean, Duke Riley, a guy who's made himself indispensable to this team, who is going to get in on this rotation. So, shout out to the homie.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him. I'm happy for him personally. So, on my fifth, what's up? Go ahead, Mr. Paul, please.
That's what I said. I think Duke Riley really loves being a Miami Dolphin. I mean, to the point where he wouldn't really want to go to another team unless he has to.
Oh, I agree with you wholeheartedly there, buddy. I think he's embraced the Miami lifestyle. I think he is a Miami type of football player too, and I think this team recognizes it. And he's a guy that's been a big presence in the locker room. He does those things well. Special teams dude, does the dirty work. I mean, he's a dude you want to make up your roster, right? It's guys like Duke Riley, and sadly we lost Andrew Van Ginkel, but it's those types of meat and potato, lunch pail, high energy on the football field guys that I love on my football team.
Do you think they kept Tyndall due to situational use? And what I mean by that is, if you really look at what he has done well since we've brought him here, it's what we saw in this preseason, that ferocious, violent intent of going after, like, blitzing the quarterback and hitting the gap to hit somebody. You know what I mean? You don't see him in coverage. I don't expect him to be in coverage one bit. But when it comes down to like a 3rd and 1 or 3rd, and you gotta make sure you get that quarterback, are you gonna send him running up the middle or whatever the open gap is to kill the quarterback? Because I think that's the only use he has.
Me too. I don't want him in zone coverage having to play a spot in the passing game. If he's gonna be on the field in a passing down, I'd rather him only have very minimal duties, meaning that if there's a running back in there and he comes out, you take the running back and cover him behind the line of scrimmage. Or if the running back comes up to block, you blitz the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I don't want him sitting back in coverage, reading the quarterback, deciding where he's going to throw it, because I find him just not. He's just ill-equipped to deal with that yet. Maybe it'll change, but I don't want to see that out of him.
I think they're also using him because they kept him because of special teams, because he's been playing a lot in the on special teams. I don't know how good he's been playing, but I've seen him a lot on special teams. Maybe that's why they kept him.
I'm gonna entertain a little bit of what Pete's saying here right now. He's saying that we have bad covering linebackers, scoring 30 plus week 1. Let me ask you this: because we kept 5 safeties, are there any safeties in that group that could be that hybrid linebacker / safety?
That to me, undersized but effective is both Marcus May and Elijah Campbell. Both are effective in that role, coming downfield and putting hits on people, which I know Poyer and Holland can do too, but I feel like their skill sets are better utilized playing free in the passing game, baiting quarterbacks, being the last guy in coverage if they need to, coming over the top, helping. Like that's where you more want to utilize their range and skill set. Also, so let's get into it then. We've got the 6 starting cornerbacks, and the Dolphins end up putting Cam Smith on the PUP list, on IR, which that means he ain't playing for 4 weeks. That opens up a spot for Sirianni Neal, who does make this team, and I understand why he's making it. And to me, if it was a pure competition between Sirianni Neal and Cam Smith for winner take the job and the other gets cut, Neal would have took his job. and that's why things are a little different now, right? Granted, I get, okay, there's the injury, but I don't know. I find it to be whatever, dude. Again, I'm he's on the short list. He's on the Eric Ikuzama list, the Channing Tindall list right now, Cam Smith, because it felt like a reach. It felt like a hope, and it's continuing to look like that. And the big surprise cut who was on my 53-man roster is Nick Needham, who gets beaten out by Siran Neal. And I just wonder, because we saw Nick Needham play a lot of safety. I didn't see Nick Needham in I can't remember Nick Needham in the preseason playing corner at all. And I know that they don't want to use him as a boundary corner. Okay. And they'll use him in at the nickel. Oddly enough, who are they thinking as the nickel corner if Kader Kohou goes down? Are they thinking Ethan Bonner? Are they thinking Siran Neal? Are they thinking they'll put Jalen Ramsey in at nickel and then have Ethan Bonner play boundary with Kendall Fuller? I don't know. They've got something cooking here.
If we don't bring anybody in, I kind of think that might be the plan. There are some corners that got released today that I think we could put a flyer on.
You mean putting Siran Neal on the practice squad and going and getting another corner?
That or dropping somebody from another position, possibly. I don't really know, but this is my position that I'm scared for. I told you earlier there's a position that I'm worried about. It's the corner position.
You did tell me that, and I thought I told you this was the first time I felt fine about corner because of Nick Needham and what he can do, everything, right?
I know, and I told you Nick Needham was going to get dropped, bro.
It's great. It's nuts to me, dude. It's nuts to me because Siran Neal played well in coverage. Maybe in practice he's been smoking fools. I know he had an interview where he talked about it, right? And he talked about the Bills. And he said, I never understood why they never gave me the opportunity that he's kind of getting here in Miami as a cornerback. And every time they needed him in a pinch to come in, he made plays because Siran Neal, special teams ace, comes out on the field for the injured backup corner. And the opposing team's like, well, I'm taking a shot at this guy. And he answers the bell every time. That's what he said. And so maybe that's something that they're feeling comfortable about more than we know. And I will take it at that being the fact if they don't add someone and say move Storm Duck to the practice squad and then add somebody, right? Because I don't know if Storm Duck can play nickel. Maybe he can. I don't know. But I know Kader Kohou is going to play it and play it well. That's what I do know. But who's backing him up if Nick Needham's gone? Who is it? Who's the guy? I mean, we have limited snaps from Ethan Bonner. We have limited snaps no snaps in the NFL from Storm Duck. And Siran Neal might be an untapped cornerback who's played in the year. I think this is his 5th season, maybe his 6th in the NFL. Maybe he has untapped abilities at the corner position. Is it nickel? Is it here? I don't know. Like, it just seems it's just a lot of turnover, right? From us going from having Xavier Howard in this room and well, I guess not really, right? I don't know. Fuck it.
Yeah, but I definitely hear what you're saying, man. The nickel position kind of has me worried. Who's going to be that backup slot corner?
I guess it will be Jalen Ramsey because they have so many backups on boundary. It's got to be.
That has to be. Yeah, you're right.
Or maybe they're going to ask. Maybe they're going to.
But then again, it answers another question. Is there a safety that can play corner?
I mean, are they going to ask, well, not play corner, but just play like in the box, zone in the box, where you might have somebody down here, playing this part of the zone, and where with your too high safety look is the spot that's going to open up in the second level. You can have a down in the box safety, and we've got plenty of those guys. We know that Jordan Poyer can do that. We know Javon Holland can do that. Interesting enough, then we're going to get to the safety group right now. Patrick McMorris makes the squad. I had everybody on there that's made it, but Patrick McMorris making it on the squad again with Storm Duck, both those guys, over Nick Needham. Crazy. And that's something we talked about. I said if they wanted to go those other two dudes and get rid of Nick Needham because they thought that young Patrick McMorris and young Storm Duck in positions where Nick Needham would be in for either one of those guys, they're respectively better in both ways. So addition by subtraction, I guess. I don't know. Or are they just betting on youth and them getting coached up and finding something new?
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, because that Nick Needham thing, man, that really caught me by surprise.
Me too. But now that it's happened, I'm less surprised because I had Nick Needham as a corner who could play safety, and it's apparent that the Dolphins were more concerned about a fifth safety versus another corner because of Sirianni Neal. And that's why Nick Needham played a lot of safety. And Patrick McMorris, young guy just drafted, played well in the games.
Yeah, he definitely played well. He flashed so much in the first game. It's just hard to say no to him. In addition, Nick Needham, if you really looked at what he did, he didn't do very well in the preseason games I watched.
He didn't do terrible, but it's not like, I don't know. He played fine, I thought. Did he? Here, I'll put it this way. Elijah Campbell played better at the safety position. Patrick McMorris had some nice plays. The safeties we saw get a lot of work this offseason. They asked the safeties to do a lot, and that might be something that could be in schematically a little different. I'll have to take a closer look. That there's a reason why the safeties are getting more plays because of how this defense is run, right?
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, Brian's brain. Yes, I will be calling the games again this year live, every game. So you can always go live.
You know, I just thought about it. You're right. It has to be Ramsey because Ramsey is the one guy that can play all of the whole secondary, right? He can play safety if he really wants to, right? I think it makes sense because now it's just proving that the Dolphins are going to allow Weaver's going to allow Ramsey to line up against whoever the best receiver is on the field, no matter what side of the field he's on.
Maybe not. I wonder more along the lines, is Weaver going to allow Ramsey, Poyer, and Holland to be anywhere on the field at any given moment, depending on the play call? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And have this weird carousel of talent in the box, on the boundary, deep safety that's going to give offensive coordinators fits. I'll be interested to see. That's something to look forward to. Last thing on this, special teams, Jake Bailey and Jason Sanders make it. No Blake Ferguson. We talked a little bit about this. Blake Ferguson did not make the roster. He'll be back because, you know, I don't think there's anyone in need of a long snapper. He'll be back. But crazy again that they were worried about guys like Patrick McMorris, Storm Duck, Channing Tindall, we'll even say on this, Deshaun Hand, Peely, who else? Tanner Connor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Andrew Meyer, Jack Driscoll, all guys that they prioritized as what, respectively, right, are towards the end. They're the 53rd, 52nd, 51st, 50th, 49th guys on the roster that are in the potential. They're the ones fighting, and they're the ones that won. And what's crazy is, and people don't talk about it, that, Andrew Meyer fought so well as a UDFA center that Nick Needham didn't get on this football team. That, other surprise cuts, you could name any of them that were. Chris Brooks didn't get on this football team. See what I'm saying? Now there's injuries and those weigh into the options as well. But I just want to point out all the craziness of it. And I'm dropping the link for everybody. Again, come on through. I want to hear what you guys think about the 53-man roster cuts. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Is this team better now, or is it a worse off team than we had last offseason? And if it is, tell me why. Why are you concerned about it?
You know what move I would have made, El Cap?
What's that?
Instead of cutting Blake Ferguson, I would have cut Bailey, because we know he can't kick if his life depended on it. I'd rather go be looking for a punter right now.
They love Bailey.
Blake
They
Ferguson.
love Bailey because Bailey does whatever secret sauce Bailey's got to hold that ball for Jason Sanders to crush kicks the way that he is. They realize they did this. They made this mistake back with Matt Turk. Remember?
I think
They made
that
this mistake.
bullshit, bro. I think that's complete bullshit. That he has secret sauce to hold the
It
ball.
obviously isn't.
No,
It obviously isn't because we saw what happened.
Somebody off, and they like it too
Oh,
much.
see,
That's why they
now-
won't get rid of
now-
it.
Now you're getting gross. Real quick before we bring
Understand, dude, it does not make sense. This guy cannot kick more than 40 yards if his life depended on it.
Yeah, but
Consistently. I'll say consistently. Go ahead.
hit the like button, everybody. Make sure you guys are checking out TFTGnetwork.com. We're going to bring up Fred in the back here momentarily. He's in the backstage. I want to hear what he's got to say about this 53-man roster. But before we do, guys, check out TFTGnetwork.com.
Get ready to dive into a new world of online shopping with the Fins Tailgate. Whether you're a die-hard sports fan or just looking for the latest fashion trends, we've got you covered. With a wide variety of products from your favorite sports teams to stylish accessories and home decor, we're your one-stop shop for all things tailgate. Our easy-to-use website and hassle-free checkout process make shopping with us a breeze. Plus, with frequent sales and discounts, you won't want to shop anywhere else. So come on in and join the party at the Fins Tailgate, your new go-to destination for all things tailgate.
TFTGnetwork.com. Check it out. Hit the like button, everybody. Come over to YouTube, The Fins Tailgate, over here on YouTube. Share, like, all that good stuff. Crypto, welcome. Been waiting for you, bud. What's going on?
What's up, Crypto? What's up, Fred?
What's up,
What's
Crypto?
up, everybody?
Salute.
What's up,
Crypto?
Salute.
Ali?
Fred making his way up
Fred.
here. Fred, what up, Fred?
Ali's got
What's
little
up, Cal?
lights
What's
going
up,
on
Cal?
in the background.
Ali,
But this is
Yeah.
this is a sad day for America. The Dolphins have a terrible roster. It's a sad
It's a
day in
sad-
America.
Sad day for America or for Florida?
How do you
Yeah,
feel
the-
we have a terrible
yeah, the-
roster?
Anytime the Dolphins do bad,
Uh-oh.
America does bad. So it's a sad day in America.
Sound breaking up.
I will agree to you on that, Crypto. As an American and a Dolphins fan, my life is severely affected when the Dolphins do bad as an American. So I will co-sign that right there, buddy.
Yeah.
Why, Crypto? Oh, why? Is it because of the O-line woes? Is it because of the D-line changes?
I defer to Tua when it comes to the O-line because he
Yeah, I heard what
said
he
he
said.
doesn't need it. You know, he said he throws the ball too quick, so he doesn't need all line. So anytime anybody want to complain about the offensive line, I would say you have to take it up with Tua.
You know what? I am
He-
so glad
he
you
lit-
mentioned that. He did say that. His,
Any gripes about the old line, you better take that up with Tua.
I was.
Wow.
Oh,
Isn't
man.
he like one of the least sacked quarterbacks though in the league? You compare him to
No,
you compare him to
29
like Ryan
times.
Tannehill. No, hold on. Hear me out. Hear me out
Yeah.
though. You compare him to Ryan Tannehill, who had in some cases had a much better offensive line than Tua has, right? And he's getting sacked all over the place. Even when he was behind that unicorn line that everybody thought was the best line that we've had since sliced bread. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He does have something to stand on, but you're really holding yourself to the fire. You have to back up those words day in and day out, to be honest.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Hey, what's up, Cap? What's up, bro? Can I go on something?
Yeah. Let's hear it, Fred.
Hey, first of all, Ali, man, you spot on, man, about that with that assessment, man, of Jake Bailey, bro. Yeah, I think we could do better there. I think we could have done better. We could do better there, man. You know, another thing, man. You know, I've been really, man, honing in on these tour interviews, bro, and just with Crypto saying that just now, like Tua says he doesn't need an offensive line, man. Like, wow, you know, I found that, you know, kind of interesting. You know what I mean? And now Cap with the and Cap now with the secondary guys who can play in certain positions, man. I think Patrick McMorris, man, even though he's listed as a safety, I think he can play nickel, bro. I really do.
Interesting. I would love to see him get some snaps down there in the box like that. I would love to see that.
The reason I say that, Cap, man, because he doesn't look as big as enough for a safety, bro. But he looks all right size to be, you know, down in the slot.
Nice size to be in the slot. You're right about that. Yeah, is he got that twitch, that quick twitch? That is. I don't know. I'll tell you what, though.
He looked like he could stick inside guys, man. You know, smaller, especially smaller. You know what I mean?
Kader Kohu this year, I don't know what he's done in training. I don't know if it's the him with Ramsey or something, but I saw him make a heads up play in preseason with the starting defense where he had a man on the inside. He knew where his inside help was, and he peeled off, twisted his hips, and came back up on a swing pass that was designed personnel wise and where our safeties were. It was designed as a perfect play call that would have had him and or the safety have to come downfield and make probably about a 12-yard tackle. But he came and peeled off and came back down inside the box and tackled it for a no gain. It blew my mind how cerebral and student of the game has changed. Because even a good nickel corner, you couldn't ask to do that, right? Like you could see him do it and be like, wow, this guy's playing well. But the fact that he did it and had so much fluid motion with it, I was impressed, and I'm looking for him to be amazingly effective. Now, can they train somebody else to be that guy the way that they have? We'll have to see. Because
and you know, like you know, to me, man, we could use all the safeties we can get, bro. You got Jordan Poyer, man, old and coming to it. Well, who knows how Holland's going to be with the 2 knee injuries, man. So I was checking. I was checking Colbert out. He seemed to have some decent play in him, bro. He looked like a hitter, man. You know what I mean? I was like, wow, man, maybe the Dolphins keep him.
I thought Mark Perry was good in coverage too.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Hey Fred.
What's up, Crypto?
Hey Fred, when are the Dolphins gonna learn how to play in cold weather like you did back in high school?
Hey, Crypto, man, I don't know what you can do with that, Crypto. Only thing with that, man, is like the chips have to fall where they may. We know the Dolphins probably have to win the division, get the number 1 seed, and get everything at home, bro. That's how it's going to have to go, man.
They got to look at your old high school tapes to get some inspiration.
Oh yeah, man. No, man, I don't put my tapes out there, man. I keep my secrets, bro. However, did Chris Brooks get cut, Ali?
He got cut.
He's on IR.
Yeah, he got injury released.
So he has a concussion, bro, right? And when he got hit, in that game. I didn't even think it was a
I
concussion.
thought it was neck. I thought it was neck injury.
I
like,
thought it was shoulder or neck too.
Either shoulder or
Yeah.
something. Right? And it's a concussion. And if he's in that much pain, bro, then this is a bad one. This is kind of like what happened to Tua, how he was out for several weeks.
Yeah.
I kind of think that they're thinking that, hey, he's a guy we can put out there. He's concussed and injured. We may not have to sign him to the practice squad right away, but when he's ready, we can sign him back, and we don't have to worry about anybody else grabbing him. I think that's the play. I don't think there's any reason why, if he was healthy, and El Cap will agree with this, if he was healthy today, Jeff Wilson would not be on this roster. It would be Chris Brooks.
I agree with you, Ollie. 100%. 100% on that.
I think Chris Brooks would have beat him out, huh?
Yeah, because Chris Brooks did more in preseason and in practice than Jeff Wilson has done since he's been here. Just being honest.
Yeah, Wilson is averaging like 0.5 yards per carry or some ridiculous number. It was bad. It's bad.
The man runs like he's pissed off at somebody. That's how he runs. He runs like he's just angry.
Yeah, and I like that.
Same here.
Yeah, I like that.
He's going to run your.
Chris,
Ali, man.
Hold on real quick, Fred. I'm sorry. Let's not forget, Chris Brooks has actually played in a regular season game and scored a touchdown in a regular season game, right?
Yeah.
Every time he plays in a game, he performs, right?
Right.
I don't see why. I hate to say, because of all the IR moves that we had, I kind of think that's another reason why we kind of cut him too. You know what I mean? And I do definitely believe we will bring him back. Go ahead, Fred. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go.
Hey, yeah, Ali, I wanted to ask you, man. Hey, Ali, how old is Duke Riley, bro?
Oh, that is a good question. Let me bring that up. I can tell you in 2 seconds.
Riley's maybe 31 or 32, Ali. I'm thinking, bro. I'm guessing.
30 years of age.
Oh,
He
okay.
just had a birthday this month.
You know, I thought they would make. I was checking out. I thought they would do something with Duke Riley, man, and kind of go somewhere else with somebody else, man.
I kind of think the linebacker position, especially the position he plays, they want a bigger guy. I mean, they even talked about it last season, saying that he was too undersized. And if that's the case, then go get somebody. They just haven't invested in that position enough. They started to this season, but I still think there's still room for improvement. They still got to make some more moves, I think.
Now, Ali, one more question for you, bro. Like, you know, other teams are coming or down to cut days too, right? You think the Dolphins might be like, you know, like checking out other teams, man, and see who gets cut from them, man, and possibly making moves and looking at guys from there, bro?
If they're not, then they're not doing their job. So yeah, I definitely think they're doing that. I don't know if that's really the play, but you know, I definitely see why they wouldn't do that. I don't see why they wouldn't at all.
Okay. I think you can still find a player that's dropped off another team. You may still find a hidden gem where they may come through another team and they may fit better with that other team. You never know.
Yeah.
You know, I say that, Ali, man, because I watched like all the preseason games, as many as I could. This guy right here, that guy right there, man, he looks tough up there. You know, specifically defensive lineman. You know, I kept it right there. Like, he looks pretty quick. You know, he looks big and strong right there, right? Yeah. He's a guy fighting for a job. I'm like, man, you know, he'd be a nice pickup for the Dolphins. That's how I be looking at things, Ali. You know what I mean, man? I can't help it, bro.
I got a question for Cap and Ali. Do y'all see us going to get another backup quarterback?
No.
Oh,
I don't.
Maybe
think so.
for the practice squad, that's it.
Yeah,
maybe a practice squad guy, but
I think we got total too.
I think it'll be a dude that, you know, like I said to Ali earlier in the show, it'll be a guy that gets cut one week, you know, maybe he's put on game day roster because somebody Tua was not in there, and then next week he's cut. You know what I'm saying? But a practice squad dude, because that's who we'll have. I don't think the team. Look, we paid Tua all this money. His team only goes as far as his health's going to allow us.
Hey, Ali, did you just moon us, bro?
No, why? What?
No, it looked like he almost mooned us.
Hey, he got up left, man. His pants fell down, bro. I was like,
I missed it.
Ali
I
just
missed
mooned
it,
the
Ali.
panel, bro.
What are you talking about?
Hell yeah.
Up in the back, probably. Sorry.
No, it looked like you mooned us because your shirt came up.
It may be my back.
Hey, Ali, way to get the views, buddy. Hell yeah. Smart move. Smart move. Way to get the views.
Now I got to.
Everybody's going to have to come back and watch the episode to see when Ali, showed the goods.
Ali mooned us.
No, Ali was doing that to the Buffalo Bill fans that were watching.
40 in 35 seconds. So we'll have to tell what's his name.
B. McD said just a hint of they ass. Goodness.
Just a hint of ass. That's what he likes in his drink.
Well, no.
So are we?
You guys,
So
this. Hold on a second. Go ahead.
Okay. So are we officially without a long snapper, Ali?
Okay, maybe for a day or two, yes.
Yeah, for one day we officially don't have a long snapper.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
I guess the center is gonna be doing those duties.
What do you and maybe Michael K needs to come up here and answer me why they released this guy. What do you guys
Who
think?
did they release? Claypool?
No, they released that center, right?
Yeah, they say he's very versatile and has experience playing both center and guard. He looks like a big guy from the pictures I've looked at. I was curious, what do you guys know about
his name is Will Clapp. Will Clapp.
Yeah, he's got the clap, bro. We don't need that down here in Miami.
That's why he was released.
Yeah.
Is Alex on here?
Yeah, Alex just showed up.
He got some disease.
Oh God, I gotta go get my NyQuil now. I'll be right back.
Hold on, real quick. Kevin Lee asks through chat, super chat. Thank you, Kevin Lee. He asks, "What's y'all's thoughts on Mike White to the Bills?" I think he's a snitch, dog. That's what I think.
He's.
I don't really care. He's
trash. Pervert.
And of course, trash players go to trash teams. So yeah, I'm about it.
We can say trash and everything like that.
He'd be cut after week 3.
But tell me you're afraid of the Miami Dolphins without telling me you're afraid of the Miami Dolphins. Just like the Patriots used to do every year to get our cast-off quarterback or wide receiver or something like that to find out what's going on. Here are the Bills getting our cast-off quarterback to want all the goods on Mike McDaniel, this scheme, how it operates. They're going to have him hooked up to the freaking brainometer and trying to pull every memory that he has in his head out. That's how shook they are on us. Fuck you, Buffalo.
Bill's thing to always go after our sloppy seconds, right? And to be honest, and to be honest, every time they do it, it blows up in their face. It just doesn't work.
Every time they take our sloppy seconds, they end up with the clap. That's what I heard.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Yeah. Ends up with the clap.
So I'm not worried, bro.
Got some feedback from you there, Alex.
Oh, sorry.
Are you in the shower, Alex?
Yeah,
No,
Alex. What are you doing?
It's stove. I'm cooking.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say shower. I was like, man, you in the shower, crypto in the bathtub. Holy crap!
You showing some crack in here. You know, I mean, we're heading to a real different program this year.
Yeah.
That was sleep, Ali. That was sleep.
Programs evolving nicely, I'd say.
It's turned to the Benny Hill program.
Nobody there. So. That's another guy.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
What do y'all think, Mr. Paul, Mike White, Fred, Crypto? What do you guys think?
No, he's the ops. He's a covert operator.
And I'm actually scared.
Real quick, look who I want to get to Kevin Lee's comment, but also I just brought up True Talk. I'm sure he's got something to say, but let me read this comment first. True Talk, y'all have any early score predictions for Week 1? 12 days away, stack up against the Jags. I don't see anyone they have.
6-3.
I see this as a game like 34-31 Miami. It's going to be closer than we want it to be, but I think there's going to be a lot of points scored, and it's going to be both sides of the ball is getting stacked with stats. That's what I think.
Is this game at home or in Jacksonville? Where is this game?
It's at home.
So it's in
at
Miami.
home. Yes.
All right, so that's
Yeah,
gonna
no.
decide. So that right there decides what I think is gonna happen.
What did you say, True Talk? What's going to happen?
I said the us being at home decides what I think is gonna happen in the game. So I think we'll probably beat Jacksonville. To be honest with you, I don't know what the score is gonna be. It's gonna be close, but I also think Trevor Lawrence is gonna have an MVP year. So it's kind of it kind of depends on what happens. If we get the Trevor Lawrence that I think we're gonna see all year, then it's gonna be a tough game, because I feel like if they beat us, all the headlines are gonna be no Ridley, no problem. You know what I mean? Like, was Calvin Ridley holding Trevor Lawrence back? That's gonna be the headlines.
Well, I don't think that. I mean, maybe, but I think what held Trevor Lawrence back was he played injured. You know what I'm saying?
I think Trevor Lawrence is top 3 quarterback in this league.
Yeah, he won.
I like Trevor Lawrence. I don't know about top 3, but I think he's capable of being in all that.
I would say top 4. I would say top 4.
Quarterback. This comes from the man that said that Tyreek Hill's baby mama is pregnant with Tua's baby, and Tua's baby mama is pregnant with Tyreek's baby.
Alex, that's a serious possibility that could have been what happened. I mean, you act like when I said that was just out of thin air. I mean, that could have very easily happened.
I mean, listen, I see how he got to that conclusion. So, True Talk,
Exactly.
I don't think a lie was told. So I don't know why Alex is getting upset about it right now.
He's getting upset because a couple weeks ago I came out and said that Alex got mad because I came out and said a couple weeks ago that Tyreek Hill. So Shaq Barrett retired because of Tyreek Hill and Tua, because of like the little things that they have going on outside the field, which is that
Shaq Barrett was jealous.
No, not jealous. It's more of like Shaq Barrett didn't want anything to do with that, because it's more like it's like a thing where so you know how Tyreek Hill always comes out in the media talking about how Tua is the best quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah, I got you.
What I was thinking was he does that because of his wife, because his wife tells him to do that.
Okay.
Because his wife's having an affair with Tua, and that now she's having a baby. That's what I was.
Shit.
That's what Alex is referring to.
Hold on, let me hear him out.
That's what Alex is referring to.
So what now? Look,
and that's why Shaq Barrett might have retired. But I also have other theories as to why Shaq Barrett might have retired.
Shaq Barrett knew this, or was he having an affair with? Okay,
so he's a secret
I think
baby mama.
I think he figured it out. No,
baby
I think
daddy?
Shaq Barrett figured it out, and I think he wanted no part of it because he's a family man. Is what I think happened.
Okay. Well, he is definitely a family man. He turned down money to go be with his family,
exactly,
which is respectable in that manner. So there is some truth. Allow me, if I may, can I poke a couple of holes in here? Just inquiring minds need to know. Tyreek Hill, being a guy who we know is very virile, right? He's very sexually active.
Oh yeah, too much.
Would his wife even need the attention from another man? Number one. Number two, they're consistent. You know, he's always having children and stuff like that with his wife and stuff. So now you're saying, now, and the other flip side of this, Tua Tagovailoa, married, has two children, and has a wife of his own, and a very godly Christian man. To step outside of his marriage, that kind of not only disrespects his wife, his family, and his heritage. Culturally,
I'm not saying it's what happened though. I'm just saying it was a theory as to why Shaq Barrett might have retired 2 weeks before the season started. But also what I was thinking was Tua and Tyreek Hill are polar opposites. So maybe Tyreek Hill cheats on his wife a lot, and we all know that because he's had what?
Whoa, easy. We don't know that. That sounds like a farce.
That's alleged.
or they have an open relationship, right? Or they.
Why do they have an open relationship? What gives you that indication?
So you're
Tyreek
calling him
Hill.
the Will
Well,
Smith of the football?
Hold on.
they
Let
got
me hear
married.
it.
They got married
Yeah.
a year ago, and Tyreek Hill's had what, 5 babies with 5 different baby mamas in that time. I mean,
No,
they either
that's
have an open relationship.
you gotta
No,
check.
not
You gotta
no.
check with the ages,
Your
buddy. That's
timeline
not.
is off.
Yeah, that's not true. That's
Well,
not true.
I know
Yeah,
he's
your
had a
timeline's
couple
off,
babies.
Truto.
He's had a couple babies this year. I know that.
Oh,
For sure.
hold on.
He's had no. He has
Yo,
not.
Has he not
Let
had
me ask you a
babies?
question.
I
He's
think
had
your
a couple
timeline's
babies
way
this
off.
year. That was
Hold on,
hilarious.
True Talk. Do
He's had a
you
couple
think that
babies.
maybe? Do you think that maybe that Tyreek is going to hit on Mike McDaniel's wife too?
That's not. Well, what I was going back to was Tua and Tyreek Hill are polar opposites, and that's why I think that maybe there was something there. But I honestly think I don't. That's like the wildest take that I had about the Shaq Barrett retiring.
Got you.
The one that I think actually happened was more of like the team told him to look after Chop Robinson, and like he's the vet to Chop Robinson.
I got you. They
And, like-
wanted him to prop up Chop
Yeah,
Robinson.
he didn't.
He didn't want to be the mentor, is what you're
And-
saying.
Well, no, I don't. I
Gotcha.
don't think he. I think he was fine being the mentor, but I also think Chop Robinson had an attitude with him, and I think that he was just like, "Screw this! I'm not dealing with these little kids giving me an attitude. I'm too old
Got
for
you.
this."
If he's
And
going to
so
take an
he
attitude
retired.
from kids, he was going to take it from his own kids,
From his own
which is
kids,
kind of
exactly.
what he said.
But True Talk.
You
what
might
I'm
have
saying-
something there, buddy. You might have something there.
Yeah, you might have something there. But True
Hold
Talk.
on, hold on, real quick.
Hold on,
Just-
Mike McDaniel's
Everybody
wife.
calm
Hold
down.
on,
One at a
everyone-
time. Go ahead, Ali, and then I want to hear Alex. Go ahead, Ali.
hold on. What has Chop Robinson done to show you he has that type of attitude?
Oh, he's done. I mean, the only thing that I could think of is Shaq Robinson retiring. That's it.
So Chop Robinson has not. You don't see him fighting with his own players. You don't. There's nothing in the news about him doing. Have any domestic issues or having an attitude problem with.
He doesn't have any of that stuff. He went to Penn State.
What tells you that's going to be it, though? That's where I want to know why you come to that conclusion.
Because if you think about it, who retires 2 weeks before the season starts, or 2 weeks before, or what was it? The Friday before spring training started.
A lot of players have. Freaking what's his name came out of nowhere and retired. The quarterback of the Colts. If you guys remember,
that was because of injuries, though, so that's different.
Okay, but I mean, a lot of players have done that before.
But he has a reasoning, though. Shaq Barrett never gave us a reason as to why he retired. All he said was he wants to spend time with his family, but he didn't want to spend time with his family 2 months before. All I know is he had 6 months spending time with his family. That's more than enough time. I'm sick of my family.
Let me ask you this, True Talk. Let me ask you this: do you know everything that's going on in Shaq Barrett's life?
I mean,
maybe he's having a personal problem at home with his wife, and that he needs to take focus on that instead. Have you thought about that?
But if he was having a problem with his wife, wouldn't he want to get his mind off of it with football?
No, he would probably need to get football out of his life to focus on his marriage and his family.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Listen, Ali might be onto something here. True Talk.
I don't think his marriage is that big of a deal to him. I think football should be more of a deal to him than. I don't want somebody.
Damn.
I don't want somebody on this team where their marriage is more of a deal to them than football is. Football should be their main
guess what,
priority,
True
not their
Talk?
marriage.
You've got your way because he's not on this team because marriage is more important to him than the team. So you did get your way, and that's a true fan from a True Talk. Real quick, getting to Kevin Lee's comment, he says, in y'all's opinion, can Miami get the number 1 seed based on our schedule, especially when we probably have 3 snow games at the end of the year?
Yes.
Let me look at the end of the schedule. Hold on.
Does that include the Chiefs, or is that just in
here's
our
the thing,
division?
True Talk, I think he may be on something here about this whole situation with it. But here's the thing, young man. All right. I think Mike McDaniel's wife also had sex with Tyreek Hill as well.
I'm not going to go that far, Alex.
Oh my God, Jesus, dude! True Talk.
Alex, I'm not going to go that far.
Yeah, this is crazy. Are we?
So according to Alex, everybody having sex with everybody.
Are you trying to say that Mike McDaniel's child is actually Tyreek's?
That maybe True Talk. Is that true?
No, that's not what I said. Don't put that in my mouth. That was all.
So
Alex.
Mike McDaniel.
That was all Alex. That had
Wife
nothing
is
to do
having
with
sex with Tyreek as well. So he's just
No,
having
all
sex
right.
with
Now you
everybody's
guys,
wives.
this
What
is
the
just
hell?
crazy now. This is just crazy. I mean,
Wow, you talking about
that's as equally as
housewives of the
crazy
Miami
as
Dolphins?
You guys,
This
you
is
guys
the
took-
Housewives
you guys took
edition
the
of the
con-
Miami Dolphins.
You guys took the
Housewives of the Miami
conversation out of
Dolphins.
context. You guys
Well,
took what I was.
what about
No, it didn't. We're just
Well, what ab-
elaborating on the conversation. It's the Housewives of the
what
Dolphins.
about
I want to go back to Kevin Lee's question real quick, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kevin Lee, your question about the 3 snow games that we have at the end of the season. I'm assuming you're talking about the Cleveland game, the Jets game. The only other snow game
Packers.
that we're going to have is the Packers game. Thank you.
Packers, yeah.
Three games. I just want confirmation.
Yeah, it's got to be.
I kind of feel like the last 2 games of the season, even if there's snow, I think we still win. But that end of the season, I think that's going to be the run that we're going to have to really come out away with.
I think we only win one of those 3 games, and it's not the last 2. So I think we beat the Packers, but I don't think we win those last 2 games.
Wait,
to
what's the
me,
3?
we got to
You
get
said-
the Packers.
You said Cleveland,
Cleveland,
New York, and
Cleveland,
Green
the
Bay.
Jets, and the Packers.
I think we beat the Jets and we beat Cleveland. I don't think we beat Green Bay though.
I think
Green Bay's
I
gonna
think
be
we
a
split
tough-
with the Jets.
Legitly on this.
Green Bay's going to be a tough
split
team
with
to beat.
I think we beat the Jets a couple weeks before that and lose to them in New York. Listen, I'm telling you, I'm looking at storylines as well, and don't tell me that the Jets getting in as a wild card team, beating Miami at home last game of the year isn't something they're looking to book and sell to the fans. Okay, not only is it them getting in the playoffs, but it's them beating the Dolphins. Now, could it be a situation in which one team wins the East and the other gets in as a wild card team, winner take all? Maybe that could be the storyline the last game of the year. But to me,
Yeah, just like
personally,
last
I
year,
think
they want to repeat.
that's right.
The only way that we're losing to the Jets, in my opinion, is that we've already made the playoffs and we can sit Tua. That's basically how it's going to happen.
Well, Tua's going to be sitting by week whatever that is anyways because Skylar Thompson will be the quarterback by then.
Yeah, because we've already secured the number 1 seed, right?
Yeah, no, because Skylar Thompson's going to lead us.
It's going to be the
All right. Okay. Let's
Alrighty.
get into this.
There we
Let's
go.
get into this. I know you're a big Skylar Thompson fan, True Talk.
I'm not big. I'm not a big Skylar Thompson. I'm just, I'm just anti-Tua.
Oh, you're anti-Tua, so that's what it is. I thought it was more Skylar was better.
No, I wanted Spencer Rattler. I wanted Joe Milton. I wanted to trade for Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I'm not pro Skylar Thompson.
Milton.
I just
Did
wanted
he get the job?
I think Joe
No,
Milton's
Bo
better
Nix
than
did.
Tua right now. Like what Fred said the other day.
Joe Milton. Who did the Patriots name that starter yet?
Yeah, it's gonna be Drake May.
It's Drake May, dude. Who
May.
it should be. Joe Milton's got a lot of talent. Drake May's a better starting quarterback today.
What are you guys talking about? Drake May didn't do shit for them. He looked like trash, in my opinion.
Okay.
I think Joe Milton. I think Joe Milton's a quarterback that's got to sit for like 1 year.
That's
but
right.
Then
I
after
agree.
that, he's gonna take over the league.
I agree.
So,
I think he needs to sit, and if he
You
can get
Joe Milton is starting by game 4.
negative.
He probably will. Yeah, they should start him next week.
Negative.
So
Negative.
how do you guys feel about a leader in the locker room, Nick Needham, getting cut today? Because that pissed me off this morning when I saw that one.
Dolphins doesn't want.
Well, I was
didn't like that at
surprised. I had him on my 53, and now in hindsight, right? I kind of see it why they went, because Nick Needham didn't play any nickel or any boundary. He played only safety this preseason. And there's two things about that, right? Obviously, they were putting I know, but they were obviously putting a priority on safety, which tells me maybe Javon Holland and or both him and Jordan Poyer. I think we know Jordan Poyer is going to be ready week 1. So maybe they're a little concerned about depth at that position. So maybe that's why. But what's odd is Nick Needham didn't win. He didn't beat out Patrick McMorris.
I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
But I don't care. But to be honest, I don't care about the on the field stuff. What I care about is the fact that he's a leader. He's a leader in that locker room. Everybody looked up to him. He started from undrafted free agent, and we turned him all the way up to a starter. You know what I mean?
We've done that a couple of times, bro. I mean, right now, Ethan Bonner's that guy. He's an undrafted free agent. He's not a starter, but he's a contributor. Probably going to be a starter one day.
Same thing with Armstead, though. Like
Nick Needham was a starter though.
I feel like Armstead needs to be put in that Udonis Haslam type role though, where like we don't play him, we let the young guys play in the offensive line. And
What's that got to do with Nick Needham?
Well, I feel like Needham should have been in that same role for the defense. That we don't play him, but we
He's
just
the
put
UD.
him in. Yeah, he's the Udonis Haslam of the defense. Just like how Armstead should be the Udonis Haslam of the offense, where they don't play, but they sit on the bench and they coach.
Nah, there's only 53 guys. You can't have one UD on this team, much less two. That's not a good way to operate. True talk. I mean, think about what you're saying here.
I mean,
right?
I think it's a fine way to operate. Like, if you look at it, Tyreek Hill is what, the #1 leader on this team right now.
What if Nick Needham clears waivers and he ends up on our practice squad? Will that prove wrong?
But no one's gonna listen to him. He's on the practice squad. He carries their stuff for him. Like, he carries the footballs outside now. They're not gonna care what he says.
He's got to carry the helmets and the water.
Yeah, he's gonna carry the helmets and the footballs.
He's got to earn all their respect. Damn, dude. So, well, I'll tell you this, right? If he was such the leader you think he is, this team wouldn't allowed this to happen. They would have rebelled.
Duke Riley is a leader on this team now.
I agree with that. I think he's been a leader, dog.
He's gonna be a captain. He's gonna have that.
And I'm sorry, but and this sucks because I like Nick Needham too. He's been too injured to be the leader you're talking about. You can't lead from the fucking medical room.
Well, that's why I'm saying you just keep him out. You don't let him play. You just put him in that UD role. You don't.
What's he doing? Is he like the liaison to the fucking medical room? I like Nick Needham. I think he's good, and I think he's still effective as a football player. And I would love to have him back on this team.
I remember that Pro Bowl, that game that he played in, where he had that interception a couple years back when he played in that Pro Bowl.
Played in a Pro Bowl game?
Yeah, Needham. He played in a Pro Bowl. And that was his first time playing safety. Was in the Pro Bowl. I don't think he played.
Oh, he never played in the Pro Bowl. Stop it.
Yes, he did.
Stop
Alex, look it up.
Stop it. He was never in the Pro Bowl.
I could swear to you, I saw Nick Needham in the Pro Bowl in like 20.
We have very defenders on.
I would be shocked.
Yeah. You know,
look it up.
I saw Skylar Thompson in the Pro Bowl too.
Well, in like 2 years, he'll be in the Pro Bowl. I give it like 2 or 3 years, and you see Skylar Thompson up there starting the Pro Bowl. To be honest,
Actually, you guys, I believe True Talk is correct. Nick Needham was a Pro Bowler in Madden 25.
Oh no, I
meant 25.
That's probably where he's.
Apology. Apology.
Was he not in the Pro Bowl?
No, he was not in the Pro Bowl. I can't remember a season he could have put together that would even warrant him a vote in the Pro Bowl.
You know who I'm thinking of?
Well,
I'm thinking of Minka Fitzpatrick. That's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that's a huge, massive difference, bro. Remember, Nick Needham,
that's
UDFA,
a huge difference.
Made the team as a nickel corner. Then, they needed him to play some boundary. Kind of struggled.
How do we feel about that, though? About how we know Minka left a couple years ago to Pittsburgh. How do you feel about Tyre Hart leaving and then a day later signing to Justin Herbert's team?
Well, I would say that the Chargers defense is super bad off if a guy that left the Dolphins they pick up and 3 days later he's on their 53. A dude that couldn't cut it here in Miami tells me that the Chargers defense is in a bad way.
The Chargers actually are making decisions that I don't really know what they're doing. I honestly think, in my opinion, I think Harbaugh is setting that team up to have the first pick next season. Just being honest.
And trade Herbert? And
get
maybe
no.
Get his own quarterback. Because here's the
thing. No, man.
Let me land on this real quick. Look at this. They went and cleared house. All of their receivers that actually was worth something, they went and got rid of.
Right, they was old and washed up.
Their running backs, they went ahead and got rid of. Then they went their one tight end that they have that actually is halfway decent and plays balls out. They went and got rid of. They got rid of everybody, bro. Right?
I don't think, man, when you let Austin Eckler go, bro, it's just that they're going to tank, bro, because you let Austin Eckler go, bro. I think they could just really upgrade over Austin Eckler, bro.
I understand what you're saying. I just think that
Plus, they're trying to get
I
younger.
just think that every weapon that they've had that they've invested in, they went ahead and got rid of, and they don't
Yeah,
really
man.
have
Older guys. That Ali, older guys like Crypto said, man.
bring anybody in that's worth a damn. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Didn't the Chargers draft? They drafted Bowers, didn't they? And they also got McConkey. I know
Yeah,
they
they got
have McConkey,
McConkey. Yeah.
but do they have Bowers too?
Unproven.
But do they have Bowers or no?
No, the
No,
Raiders got
Bowers.
him.
He's with the Raiders. Raiders had Bowers, bro.
Raiders. I mean, I don't know. I feel like a quarterback like Justin Herbert. It doesn't matter what wide receivers you put around him. Like he's gonna figure it out. Just like how he turned. Keenan Allen wasn't really much until Justin Herbert got there. Like Keenan Allen.
They said Keenan Allen was
Keenan Allen was good.
He's 1,000 yards before Allen.
True Allen. Jesus Christ.
Herbert refurbished his career though.
Keenan Allen was the top 10 receiver before Herbert got there.
He refurbished Allen's career. Like without Herbert, Allen would have been retired 4 years ago.
No, he would not have. So, bro, do me fair.
He wouldn't have been on a team. No one would have picked him up 3 years ago.
No, he would have been on the team.
Just be quiet, bro. Like, come on. Now
Alex,
you're talking stupid now.
Alex, let's be real here.
Bro, Keenan Allen is one of the was a top 10 receiver
what does he
before
do
Herbert
great?
got there. Get out
What
of
does
here.
he do great? Tell me what he does great.
The man had like 3 or 4 consecutive 1,000-yard receiving yards. Are you kidding me?
1,000 yards is nothing. Tell me what he's great at.
Oh, okay.
Alex, tell me what he's great at.
1,000 yards is nothing. Okay.
Tell me what he's great at. Tell me one part of the game that he's great at.
He can beat just about anybody 1-on-1, bro. He could just he runs good break routes, bro.
He can beat anybody 1-on-1.
He's not Antonio Brown. You guys are talking like
he can beat anybody 1-on-1, bro.
He's
anybody 1-on-1, bro.
Like, let's be real. Keenan Allen was always like a 7th round draft pick in fantasy. Like that boy was never. He would be at the league right now if it wasn't for like Tavon Austin was drafted before him back in the day in fantasy.
Wait. Is he saying that Keenan Allen was trash?
No. What I'm saying is like Keenan Allen would have retired or he would have started regressing 2 years ago if it wasn't for Justin Herbert. Is what I'm saying. Like back in the day, Tavon Austin was drafted in fantasy football before Keenan Allen was. And now look at Tavon Austin.
Allen was
talking about fantasy football.
And I liked him, to be honest, because for fantasy.
What does that got to do with anything?
You would sit up there stain Keenan Allen, bro. How can you do that, bro?
You know Keenan Allen was a stud. Stop it, Chucho. Stop.
Oh no, I'm not saying he wasn't a stud. I agree, but I'm saying that I feel like his career would have regressed by 2 years by now if it wasn't for Herbert. Like you think the Chargers would have gotten that haul back for him if it wasn't for Herbert hyping up his stats for the last couple of years?
Kind of funny because Keenan Allen was only 27 years old when Justin Herbert got drafted. Yeah.
Exactly.
And he was just coming off another 1,000-yard receiving season with
Alex,
about a shitload of touchdowns.
Alex, you're missing the fact that I said he would have regressed by now if he didn't have Herbert as a quarterback. He
would have definitely regressed at 27 years old. Yep.
Well,
yep.
I didn't say he was going to. He would have been 29 when I said he would have regressed. I said by 2 years he would have regressed.
Hey, let's talk about this. You know, this is something that kind of deals with what crypto and some people around here have actually have brought to the table that we should do at return.
What was that? You cut out.
The Rams are gonna take their running back and put him at punt returner. How do you guys feel about that?
Using running back as a punt returner.
I want to say he's the starting running back. Kyron Williams, is he pretty decent?
That's what they did back in the day.
Second round fantasy draft pick.
A lot of running backs were punt returners back then in the day.
I know, but
cornerbacks,
starting running back, you're gonna throw him at punt returner?
I wouldn't do that. If I was the Dolphins,
I would. If you want more bang for your buck, I wouldn't mind it.
Like who? We put Jalen right back there.
We put Jalen Waddle out there. Put Tyreek back there.
Put Tyreek back there. I've heard a lot of put Tyreek back in for kickoffs, for punt returns. Returns, I mean.
I'm not afraid of Tyreek in the punt game. Like a lot of people are afraid to do that. I don't know why.
I think they're afraid of the injuries. That's what the issue is.
You
Exactly.
could get hurt.
That's-
You could get
that's
hurt
the
playing
problem.
wide receiver.
You may not
Ali,
have
that's
the
another
things,
problem though. Is the fact that this team, the coaches
Braxton
are too
Berrios
scared.
is
They-
the kick
The
returner.
coaches are too scared of
You can get
injuries on this team. I
you
feel
can
like
get injured at
OBJ should
playing
be
any
back.
position.
OBJ should be
Hey,
back.
bro, like true talk. It's not like they don't have reason to be, bro. You see how we go down, bro. We
But Fred,
go down like it seemed like no other team has. You know, what I mean, like the
but
worst
they're
getting
overly
injured
cautious.
of like
They're
in the
overly
history of the
cautious though.
NFL, bro. That's what it seemed
They're
like, bro.
they're overly cautious though. We have players come out and say that they're perfectly fine and healthy, but we still have them sitting out on the team because the coaches don't want to play them yet. I
Yeah,
feel
but
like
you
McDaniel.
still have to protect your team with that true talk, man. You
Nah, I
still
don't.
don't want these dumb injuries, bro.
Because
You know what I'm
what's it called?
saying?
Tua. Remember when Tua got that concussions and he got. Remember he was on the floor in Cincinnati and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Went to the
man. Yeah,
hospital.
they threw him.
He
Yeah, they played
he
him
was
next week.
cleared.
Yeah,
He was cleared a week later. He could have played the next
yeah.
game,
That was
but he
bullshit, though.
didn't because
They should have
our
never
team held
done
him
that,
out.
bro. They should
He
have
should have
never
played in
done
the
that,
next
bro.
game.
Yeah, I don't see who did that, man. I don't see whoever does that has a job the next week, bro. I mean, the week after, bro. You clearly don't do that, man. That was a real dangerous thing on national television, bro.
100%.
And then you're gonna have the guy play next
100%.
week, man. I don't
On
understand
prime
that.
time too. Prime time football,
Yeah,
and we see that
exactly, bro. Exactly.
it was awful. Hey, but I do think that even though we have 4 receivers right now, I do think we have a better receiving core than everybody in our division, and we probably have the best receiving core in the league. Right, to be honest, everybody but I don't know why we kept Barrios over Ezukama. If I'm being real, I would have dropped Barrios and I would have kept Ezukama. But that's
And
the only
I
that's
think
the
we have
only
a
question
strong
that I
tight.
have.
I think we have a strong tight end room right now, bro. I really do.
Well, no, I'm saying wide receiver.
I know, but I think we have a strong tight end room right now, bro. I
What's
really
the
do.
tight ends? Did we keep Smythe or no?
Yeah,
Yes,
we
we
kept him.
So it's what? Jonu Smith, Smythe, Hill, and Connor.
That's correct.
And then
Right.
Connor, I heard Connor might start on IR, right? Or is he good?
No, he's
No, yeah.
he's on the 53.
Oh, so he's good to go.
He also can line up at receiver, so I think that's what they're planning on. So
Like Matt Collins. That's our Matt Collins right there.
Hey, Ali, appreciate you having me up, bro. I gotta get these kids to bed.
All right, Alex.
All
Have a
right.
good night.
Have a good night, guys.
have a good
Have a
night.
good night,
All
Alex.
right.
Hey, Ali, I'm gonna cut out too, bro. Y'all have a good night, man. Have a good night.
Yeah.
No worries, man. No worries. Have a good night, Fred. Nice talking to you.
Have a good night,
All right,
Fred.
man. Y'all have a good one. Yeah.
Anybody else want to come on up? I'm dropping the link again.
Yeah, I mean, what's it called? I like I like our team. There's a couple question marks that I have on who we chose to like keep and not keep and stuff like that. But I mean, there's not really very many complaints for me, which is for the first time. I feel like I love the Skylar Thompson second string quarterback. I love that. I mean, that's my save our franchise right there. If I'm being honest, that might save the year. Like let's be real. Like I like Tua. I think Tua's gonna do well. But this is what I've been saying this take forever. I feel like when we go into winter, we get into cold games. I think Skylar Thompson should be starting the games up in the cold. Just because he's from Kansas State. He went to Kansas State University. He's from Kansas. He knows how it is to play in the cold. Tua's from Hawaii. He went to Alabama where it doesn't snow. Tua's never seen snow in his life, while Skylar Thompson's been living in snow his entire life. So I just feel like cool. Tua can be the starter from September to late November, and then as soon as like mid-November hits, Skylar's the starter on the road, and then Tua could be the starter at home. You know what? I think that's how it should be. It should be like a thing like that, where if it's anything below 40 degrees, 30 degrees, then Skylar needs to be the starter.
Damn, dude. I'm a firm believer. The best player, no matter what, needs
Sounds
to
like
play.
Pete is happy. Pete, you starting to make Pete, have a euphoria, making that kind of a statement.
Skylar gives us the best chance to win when it comes to cold weather games. He's used to the conditions.
You're giving Pete a wet dream.
I just
Oh
think
man.
I just think Skyler is
I
is
see.
better
Even
at
Jermaine
the
approves of your message. Jermaine definitely approves. He agrees with you 100%.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. How's it going, EM? I
Yes,
see you
you're
there.
catching on to
Hello,
something
sir.
here.
I mean, I just think Tua's had multiple chances in the snow, and he's folded every time. Let's put a kid back out there that has been in the snow, that knows the conditions, that's won in the conditions, that's thrown for more than 5,000 yards in those conditions in college and high school.
I got to
Put
bring
that
up
kid
this
out there.
gentleman because he's making the panel great again. How's it going, Mr. EM? How's it going?
Yeah. Hey,
Oh my God.
I absolutely loved
The ratings just going down there. I don't know who this guy is, but the ratings just tanking right now.
Oh
We
my
approved
God.
that message, goddammit. What's going on, man?
What's up? What's up? Hey,
Yeah.
EM, I have a question for you. Can you ask Reason to unblock me on Twitter? He's blocked me for like a month now.
Listen,
On
what
Twitter?
True
You been
Talk?
blocked on Twitter?
Yeah, and I don't know. I think it's because I said something about Tua to him. I don't know. I forgot what it was, and then he like said something back, and then he blocked me.
You know what? True Talk. Any other time, I would definitely be more inclined to at least attempt to make that happen.
You're in and out, EM. We can't hear you.
Yeah. There you go, EM. You broke up.
But EM,
We can't hear you.
EM, I want to hear your
Bro.
take on what I brought up.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
How's my audio?
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
much better.
So,
Yeah, much
True Talk, don't think I hadn't been seeing you in the chat trolling me, bro. So, with all that
Oh, I
reason,
don't troll.
with reason your girlfriend, all that type shit. Don't think I don't see your ass in the chat. True Talk.
Is he? Well, is he EM? We gotta know the
Get
answers.
the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
What?
Well,
Really, bro? Really?
Wait a minute.
Really, bro?
EM,
Hold on. I'm trying to
outta
figure
here.
this. Hold on.
But
That's
yeah,
some new news to me. Hold on. Let me write
the
this
guy
down.
who you whining about, right? You begging me to reach out to him to unblock you.
I'm just here to
He's
get
asking
answers,
you to
that's
reach
it.
out to your girlfriend. I thought
Yeah,
that's
Man,
what
fuck
he just
out of
said.
here.
Let me
Cap,
know.
use a hoe for that. But
Oh,
True
God.
Talk. Hey,
Yeah, just
any
let me
other
know.
time I'll be more inclined to make the attempt to make that happen for you. But no, fuck out of here. You owe me a big apology because I haven't done anything to you. I don't know why you trying to troll me.
Yeah, we're good. I've never done nothing to you.
Well, stop all that goddamn reason is your girlfriend type shit for real, bro. You need to stop that foolishness.
EM, let me just say one thing. I've never seen somebody defend another person that's not like a special someone to that person like you defend Reason.
Well,
So
I'm gonna be well. Listen.
That's where it comes
Well,
from.
I'll say
Maybe you're
this.
just a
Hey,
loyal friend.
I'll be the first. Reason is special to me. That's my guy, bro. It's my boy.
Then that's it. That's it.
Fuck out of
Then he
here.
is special.
So I do the same thing with Lewis. Anybody else that I am close to. Guess what? If I feel like some, there's some misinformation being spread about them, lies, etc. Yeah, I'm gonna speak up and address it, and I expect that to be reciprocated on their end, right? It has
100%.
happened. It has definitely happened multiple times. So, I mean, what are we talking about here? What's the conversation?
Well, what I brought up, what the conversation was.
But really, it sounds to me like you don't want. You want to be next to him, right? You don't want to whine about being. You don't want to be you don't want to whine about being blocked off his platform. It sounds to me like you want to be his girlfriend, or you want to be close to him. That's what it sounds like to me.
Oh, you walked right into that one.
Well,
You walked right into that one. True Talk.
Well, Ian, let's.
Do you really want to be actually? You really want to be? You really want to be close to him, don't you?
Well, let's change the subject real quick, Ian.
No, hell no. No, sir. You brought this up. You brought it up. No. Absolutely not.
Well,
do you want to be close to him?
True Talk.
Are you fanboying right now? True Talk. You fanboying, right? That's what you're doing? You fanboying?
Hold on a second. True Talk. Have you asked EM if Reason? I'm now hearing it differently. First of all, you asked EM if Reason was spoken for, and you want him to unblock you. So there's obviously some other intentions here. True Talk. Is EM correct that you're looking to get into Reason's DMs?
It's 100%. I can answer that.
Not that. I don't talk.
I can answer that for him. Absolutely, 100%. Anytime you hear a grown man up here whining about so and so, can you have that guy unblock me, please? Because I don't know what I did to him. What the bro? Come on, really? Are you serious? There's
Well,
no
El
conversation here.
Capitan, I don't like Tua Nears. I try and stay away from them as much as possible.
Oh, okay. So,
So-
but other than that, then you'd be in the DMs though, right?
Well, yeah, he's a nice guy. You know, I'll talk to him about Dolphins football any day.
You fanboying right now. You fanboying.
I don't think he
That's
is.
what
I
you're
think
doing.
he's-
No.
I think he's very sincere. I think True Talk
Yeah.
will have any intelligent conversation with
With
any
anybody.
Dolphin fan that's
Really?
willing to have it.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I do.
Oh, okay.
100%. Anyone that wants to have a conversation, I'm here to have a conversation about my Miami Dolphins. Like,
I'm
we
right
all
there
beat
with you,
Aqua and
True Talk.
Orange.
I'm right there
Oh,
with you,
okay.
dog. I'm right there
Aight.
with you.
I don't believe that one bit. I think he'll probably try to make some ploy that Reason had a baby with Tyreek's wife or some shit. That he'll make up some shit like that. Because that's exactly what he was trying to tell us earlier, EM. If you were
Yeah,
Shaq Barrett.
yeah. He said Shaq Barrett found out that Tua was having an affair with Tyreek Hill's
Bruh.
wife and questioned whether the new baby is Tua's or not.
Wow.
which
Are
is
you
fucking-
serious, dog?
I swear to God, your shit
Wow.
was wild as, and that Shaq Barrett knew all this,
I've
which
said
is why he
this-
left
Wow.
the
Yeah, yeah.
team.
Oh.
Shit is wild.
That-
I
bro.
said this weeks ago, though. I said this
Maury
weeks ago.
show. You
This
are
was
not
wild.
So True Talk, where'd you get that intel, bro? Like, really?
Well, this was weeks ago, EM. This was just me. This was just my conversations that I had with a couple other people in the Dolphins community.
I know
we
one is
were-
Pete. I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
one is Pete.
Yeah,
Who was the
Pete.
other one? Fred? That's the cop. Those
No,
are
I
your
think-
sources there?
I think it was just me and Pete, if I'm being honest.
Oh,
And we
okay.
were-
Well,
we were
that
just
makes a
having-
lot of sense.
And we were just having
That makes a lot of
conversations,
sense.
And
Uh-huh.
we were having because this was right after Shaq Barrett retired out of nowhere, a week before training camp. And so we were just having conversations as to why he might have retired. And the whole Tyreek Hill baby situation came up. That's it.
Interesting.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
All right.
I gotta
Okay.
hand it to these guys. They are leaving no stone unturned
They're
when
not.
they're asking questions.
Oh.
So, you can say what you will about this Miami Dolphins community. Diligence is one thing we have for certain. Because I'll be damned if not every potential scenario, from alien abductions to Bigfoot and the Loch Ness monster, being on the table for questions on why things have or have not happened. We will figure them all out. Greg, welcome.
That is
What's up?
wild, bro.
What's up, Greg?
Yo, what's up?
Hang in there, bro. Just trying to
Greg.
figure out how this 53-man roster is a good or a bad thing.
It's bad. This offensive line sucks.
Whoa, Greg, I don't think there's anything wrong with the offensive line. That's
They're gonna
where-
get Tua killed.
Yeah, but we don't.
Well,
really
Tua
care.
just said that he don't need nobody blocking.
Yeah.
He's throwing it 2.5 seconds.
Genuine.
Don't even give a damn.
Greg,
Hey.
Greg, your Lord and Savior Tua told you yesterday you don't got to worry about the offensive line.
Real
Damn,
Your
quick.
Lord and Savior.
Real quick, Cap.
Yeah.
he's a
Well,
pioneer.
I gotta be honest, bro. It is a hell of a slow night tonight, huh? Yeah.
What you mean? Ain't
With
slow.
True-
53-man roster drop.
with True Talk and Greg up here too. Oh
First of
shit!
all,
It's
Greg's
definitely a
my
slow
guy.
night.
First of all,
It's
Greg's
definitely
my
a
guy.
slow
This is Greg's my dude. Greg's always welcome
Okay,
here. He
that's
knows
fine.
that.
But
I
it's,
love Greg.
that don't change the fact it is definitely a slow night tonight.
Yeah,
And
I want to go back.
True Talk coming up here is a rare treat.
It
Okay.
doesn't matter. We're going 17-0 and winning the Super Bowl.
I hear you, bro. I
See?
hear you.
It's a
EM,
rare
I want to
treat
go
to have
back to actual
True Talk
serious
here.
Dolphin talk, though, for real. Tua claims that he don't need an offensive line because of how fast he gets the ball out, right? When I was thinking about it, he might be having something there because when you look at people like Ryan Tannehill, for example, who had at one point had a unicorn line in front of him, was getting sacked left and right. So maybe
But
he
always
does
sacked
have-
at like 3.1 seconds or more. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
all-
Tannehill held on to that damn thing.
What's the starting O line? Is Eichenberg in the starting O line?
So that was a question we had. If Brewer, let's work under the assumption that Brewer is not
Mhm.
playing. Week
Eichenberg
one.
should be center. That's
I
his
think
position.
Eichenberg is the starting center. I think it's obvious to run Armstead and Austin Jackson as the tackles, and then left guard is Jones, Robert Jones. And the real question is, who's the right guard?
I
Is
think
it going to
Lamb.
be Jack Driscoll? I think it's going to be Lester Cotton. I think they put Lester Cotton as the starter.
I think it's Lamb.
Lamb?
I think it'll be Kendall Lamb.
Lamb is going to be.
You know what? I'll be right. Hey, give me a minute. I'll be right back, Cap.
All right.
Okay. Kendall Lamb? For real?
I think he'll start, to be honest. But why not Patrick Paul? Patrick Paul's not in your starting 5 for the O line?
No, and I'm not putting his giant tower of a guard right there. I don't even want him to learn guard. I want him to play left tackle, be ready to come in if and when Teron Armstead comes out, because we know he's going to be getting nicked up and they're going to play it safe because we want him in at the end of the year. Teron Armstead for the past, I think, 5 years now averages 11 games a year during the season.
What about Ryan Hayes? How do you guys feel about him starting week 1 at center?
Ryan Hayes is not on this football team.
Wait, they cut him?
They cut him, dude. Can you believe
That
that?
He wasn't worth anything, bro.
So
Of course it wasn't worth nothing.
So what? So Eichenberg is the center on the depth chart?
Yeah, they did keep Andrew Meyer, the other center, on there, the guy from UTEP.
Did they keep Pilley?
Pilley, the defensive tackle? Yes, Pilley
Okay.
and Deshaun Hand made it.
Okay, I'm okay with that. I like both of them, so I'm good with that.
Yep, and also, who was the other what's his name? Also made it as well. I got it right here. Hold on, let me pull it up.
Lester Cotton. Oh my God, Zach, man, look at this.
So let's see. Oh, McMorris. I knew McMorris made the team.
Yeah,
I like
Benito
that.
Jones,
I like
Deshaun Hand, Peely, Zach Sealer, and Campbell are your defensive line.
Campbell, who's Campbell?
Calais Campbell, bro.
Of course. And that was I forgot we had him for a minute. Ethan Bonner. I always knew Ethan Bonner was gonna make the team. Storm Duck, Kendall Fuller, Kader Kohu, Saran Neo, and Jalen Ramsey. So the only surprise at corner was Storm Duck.
Yeah, and not Nick Needham.
And not Nick Needham, which is whatever.
But again, Nick Needham was only played at safety, so they were really asking him to beat Patrick McMorris, and that's kind of odd, right? And when I had my 53-man projections yesterday, not yesterday, day before yesterday, we were asking whether or not they'll let Nick Needham be here and then keep him as the corner / safety on the roster, or would they go with Patrick McMorris and Storm Duck? And that's what they did. Crazy, right?
Why did they not give that? I mean, I don't know if they did or didn't, but why did they not give that Middle Tennessee State kicker? Why did they not give that boy a chance? The one that was outside the entire time in training camp, like trying to get whatever it's called, trying to go out there and punt to see if he can make the team or not. The one that had the best whatever it was, and we never gave him a shot. We let Jake Bailey get it instead. And I don't know. I feel like we should have given him a chance.
Oh, I know who he's talking about. Turk.
The dude,
talking about Turk's nephew or whatever his name was.
Yeah, the punter. The punter that was outside.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. In camp, he did look like he could punt further than Bailey. I don't know what's up with Bailey, bro. I think if you're gonna make up some secret agenda,
talking about the dude that was camping out in front of the facility.
Oh, that
guy.
Oh, yeah. That guy. Never mind.
The guy that he put up.
Why didn't they give him a chance?
Yeah, why didn't I give him a chance?
I don't. You know why? Just like you can't get a job sometimes. It's not what you know or what you could do. It's who you know. That's right. So,
I do have a hot take on the punting position. What? Can I give it? I gave it to you earlier, El Cap, before the show.
What
is it possible that, and if you look at what we did in preseason, we went for it on 4th down a lot, and I mean a lot. Maybe they don't care about the punter position because they're really not looking to punt a lot.
That's a wild take, bro.
I know. I said it's a hot take. That's why
it's a wild take.
I could see that. I could see that though, because McDaniel is more on the ball.
I mean, they practiced 4th down and 8, 4th down and 3, like a lot,
bro. That's wild.
I mean, it was a lot this preseason.
And didn't McDaniel come out and say at some point saying that, like, because McDaniel's a big math guy and everything. So didn't he come out and say something like, "Oh, the statistics show that you should go for it on 4th down every time"?
I don't know. So many people said that because that's the facts, right? And and some people use that to say this is why statistics aren't a guaranteed or a measuring tool. Because if you're supposed to go for it on fourth down every time, but you're backed up inside the 20, you're obviously not going to go for it on fourth down. You know what I'm saying? So there's that's the new saying with it. So yes, I'm sure he said it just like Adam Gase said it, just like everyone's been saying it since the statistic has been the truth, because it is true that if you didn't punt, went for it on fourth down every time, the numbers tell that. The problem is no team does that, so the statistic doesn't have a real measurement to counterbalance how it would really come out.
Yeah. My hot take is only for the reason because I just don't think our punter is worth a damn. The guy could not punt very well, in my opinion, and that's just my opinion.
I get it, right? I don't really give two shits about the punter. And to me, I prioritize a field goal kicker over a punter, and the Dolphins do too. Give me a guy who's crushing 50-plus yarders, because for whatever reason, I don't give a shit why it is with the punter. Punter could punt an average of 40 yards, and he makes my kicker kicks 50-plus yarders. Give me that guy than a guy that has my kicker on the fritz, and he can crush him 60 yards down the field with a punt. That's a loser mentality. I think the other way is a winner mentality.
I will say, prioritizing the field goal kicker is something, bro. In the past 2 weeks, we've seen kicks from like 72 yards, 73 yards. It's something ridiculous the last 2 weeks of field goals that have been hit. And there's something there, I think, in my opinion.
I have a quick question for you guys. So the wide receiver room, we decided to keep Berrios over Ezukama. I mean, I feel like if they really wanted to keep Berrios, they should have just kept Berrios and Ezukama and then just cut somebody from another position. Like, or just cut Berrios and keep Ezukama in that spot. I don't know what they see in Berrios. Like, I don't know what Berrios has shown.
We should have cut both of them.
No, because they only have 3 receivers.
100%.
They both suck.
But we would only have 3 receivers, Greg.
Go get 2 more.
From where?
Shaquem Grant, I hear, is available.
Mike Thomas is available. I'll take
another midget. We're gonna have another midget receiver. That's what you want, Greg? Jakeem Grant, another midget, huh?
No.
Noah Brown's available.
I'd rather have Robbie Chosen.
No, okay, now that's a good name right there. Noah Brown. That's a good name right there.
Tim Patrick.
I know, Jess. He's like, go get 2 more.
I like that name though.
2? You're giving Robbie Chosen as one of your 2 more. I don't want that guy back.
Let me throw you guys a name real quick. The Mechie guy from Houston.
Yeah, to trade for him. I don't need him that bad. I still remember everybody, right? I just need Braxton Berrios to hold it down. And I talked about this. First of all, Odell Beckham comes back. All these other dudes are not.
And Craycraft.
Yeah, and
Craycraft as well. But also, every Dolphin fan, and even you two in chat, everybody in chat, at the end of last year, I think we all thought that this offense is still capable of more, but got too bogged down in the wide receivers getting targets, where it seemed like the best exploitation of defenses could be done through the tight end room with some passing catches and through running backs. And I think they're going to use, I think we all know Devon Achan's lining up at wide receiver a lot, which also allows Jalen Wright to be put in there and getting runs that Devon Achan's not going to get because he's getting snaps at the wide receiver position. Also, Jonnu Smith is a part of this offense now, and they kept Tanner Connor on this 53-man roster. They obviously have plans for him. We know it ain't blocking plans, so it's obviously pass-catching plans. They're going to get a lot of the targets that would warrant us having 5-6 receivers on here that needed to be pass catchers. They're looking for the other position group guys to take those targets and be those pass catchers. And I think it's going to be it's a little bit of an ideology shift around here, right? As far as where they're going to pass. Not too dramatic, but certainly they're going full tilt in this direction with 4 wide receivers on the roster, 4 tight ends, and all pass catching running backs. And I land my plane.
I have another question for you guys real quick. So the Patrick McMorris guy, he made the roster. Do you guys think that maybe we know that Javon Holland's on a contract year? So do you think that maybe Patrick McMorris is gonna get, next year McMorris might be the starter?
I mean, I think, well, it'll all depend. If they draft a first or a second round safety, then I would say no. But if they're getting a safety in the 3rd round and, Holland's gone and they let Poyer walk, I think Campbell is probably a guy that would come back. But then again, nobody's
Campbell
under
too.
contract. Nobody's under contract. They could turn over the entire safety room and only have Patrick McMorris there. Whether he'll be the number 1 guy or not, he'll have the edge, right? Unless they bring in a savvy veteran they pay money to, or they draft a guy in the 1st or 2nd round that they project to be there. Either way, he'll have the ability to be number 1 or number 2 in the pecking order at the safety group.
Isn't Patrick McMorris like a 7th round draft pick?
I think we got him in the 6th round, but yes, you're right.
So if we're being honest, he has to. If we're gonna have him start over Holland, I'd rather pay Holland. I mean, unless this kid has a breakout season. I mean, I don't know much about Patrick McMorris except that he went to Cal.
I think it comes more on the lines that I don't think the Dolphins operate with the way they operate their football team, prioritizing position groups and where they want to put the money. I don't think they operate in the realm that they prioritize the safety position being one of the high value that they're going to put money into on this football team. That's why Holland will leave, because he's going to get and want the bag, and Miami is not going to, much like Christian Wilkins, and more power to him if he has a Christian Wilkins type of 4th year where he had in his 5th year. So, and we'll get a compensatory pick when he leaves.
Yeah.
So there is that. Now, what they do from the safety position, I mean, there's always some guys on the market, some veterans. I guarantee they bring Campbell back. Who knows? Maybe Marcus May is really good and he comes back, and we're starting at the minimum with Marcus May, Campbell, and Patrick McMorris in there, and they can address some in the draft and bring in another free agent, who knows who, right? And they just kind of roll the dice with it. Or maybe they go ahead and draft a corner in the 1st round, project to see Cam Smith back there, and move Ramsey in at safety and really try some shit. Who knows?
Yeah. There's a lot of different things that they could be doing. You mentioned us drafting a corner next year. We could draft a safety next year very easily.
If we're drafting safety, we should draft Shiloh Sanders next year.
Shiloh's awful. Shiloh's awful.
Oh, wait till this year, bud. He's gonna have a breakout year.
Shador is the one we want, not Shiloh. We want.
When
Shador
did you change the Maury in there, fucking Ali?
Say what? When we were talking about who's having whose baby, I did that.
Oh.
Like I even made a joke about it earlier. You just didn't hear me.
So it's been sitting there saying Maury this whole time?
Yeah, I was saying. That's why I was.
You are not the father.
Yeah, you are not. I was joking about it.
I didn't notice it until MCJB put something in chat. Thanks a lot, chat. Been walking around with Maury on my fucking name.
Yeah, you have to watch the whole show to get the joke behind it. MCGB.
Hey, Greg, doesn't Colorado play on Thursday?
Yeah, they're gonna beat the shit out of North Dakota State
on Thursday, right?
Michigan Wolverines are gonna do shit, bro. They're gonna be just like Florida State and get their ass kicked by whoever they play first.
Everyone's saying North Dakota State. Guess I zig when everyone zags. I'm putting money on Colorado.
Oh, I'm putting money on Colorado too. Colorado's going 12-0, baby.
I don't know about that,
but
let's go Buffaloes.
There are some safeties that I think that could possibly be in this next draft that I wouldn't mind drafting in the late 1st round, early 2nd. To be honest,
we'll have to look at what we need come that time, though. You know what I'm saying?
Is Shiloh one of those guys or no?
No, not for me.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. I
Not
didn't
only
think
that,
Shiloh.
who cares? I don't give a damn about drafting a safety in the first round. To me, interior offensive line is where we go. Or I don't know. Like, who knows, right? Who knows what they
The only
decide?
way that the only reason why I would think about drafting Shiloh is because of the simple fact that there's alleged rumors that he bullied people in the locker room last year, and in my opinion, that shows that he's a dog. That shows me that he could be a dog at certain times.
Yeah, I like bullies. You know what
And
I'm saying? I like people who
that's why
bully
I'm
people
saying
like
El
that. Yeah,
Capitan. El
I
Capitan.
hear
That's
you,
why
bro.
I said that. I said this a couple weeks ago. We should bring Richie Incognito back on the coaching staff. I said that a
Nah,
couple
bro.
weeks ago, and I
Richie,
stand true with that.
I don't know, man. Like, I like Richie in the way that you're talking about and everything like that. But to me, bro, it's his time is come and gone, buddy. His time is come and
But
gone.
he would be a great coach, though.
I don't
A
think
great.
so, man.
He
I don't
would.
think
You
so.
don't think Tua won't be soft? Tua will learn to be.
I
a
don't
man.
need Rich Incognito coaching the offensive line room, talking to my fucking. What you're talking about firing Butch Berry and bringing in him, and I'm not interested in that.
Well, no. I'm not saying offensive line. I'm saying.
So what are we bringing him in for then?
He's just gonna be a coach. You just be
Just
one
a
of
guy.
the.
He's a hype man.
Coaching?
Yeah, what's he
Yeah,
doing?
you just be out there.
He's just a hype man.
Yeah, you know how John Embry.
Terrible hype man.
We made up a coach. We made up a coach name for John Embry.
I mean, not really. He's been a tight ends coach. He's been a offensive coordinator. He's been around in the league for some time now.
Just put Incognito in the film room and let him go out there and talk to the team. Not a big deal.
I don't think, being a cerebral film guy is what Incognito's known for.
I mean, we're
right?
not. I don't want him to watch film. I want him to go out there and I want him to bully some people. That's what I want him out there for.
Well, yeah, and that would be great. But I don't need him to bully my own staff members and team. Like
JB.
What's the point of that?
I need him to do that.
So you need him to do that to Tua is what you want.
I need him. Yes, 100%. Tua is the one that can benefit the most from that.
I don't think that's going to work out. Not that Richie Incognito wouldn't be good at doing that, but I don't think Tua's going to stand for it. Whether or not Tua would fight back, but I would imagine that at least the team would probably have something to say about it. Are you looking for Richie Incognito to get physical? Well, that's now. So you want to create a scenario.
I need Richie
Incognito is going to go.
Are you saying you want to toughen Tua up?
No, I feel like it might bring the team together. Like, if I'm being real, El Capitan, the way that you're talking about it right now, there could be a way if we bring Richie Incognito in here and one day he ticks Tua off to the point where the team's like, you can't talk to somebody that way. And we have all these softies like Raheem Mostert going on podcasts talking about how Tua is the greatest thing since sliced bread and stuff like that.
Goodness.
You
softies think like Raheem Mostert?
Yeah, softies like Raheem Mostert. You think Richie Incognito scared of that type of stuff? Richie will take the entire team, and then that could be a team bonding moment right there. Beating up Richie Incognito could be a team bonding moment.
The fighting, the entire
I like
team,
the background already.
and that whole. I could see how that could become a team bonding moment, right?
What by beating up on Tua?
Appreciate it, but I gotta be real.
How does that gonna work?
Gotta be real. I don't think it's gonna be good. I don't need a borderline psycho in Richie Incognito bullying and then physically fighting my team, because what if I think and ultimately the team will win, right? Against Richie Incognito. But
I don't know about that. I don't know.
Well, I'm not saying Richie Incognito ain't taking somebody down with him, but who?
No, I think he'll take the whole team. I think he'll take all 53.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, listen,
plus the coaching staff.
Plus the coaching staff?
I think he'll take everybody.
I don't know. I got to think about the coaching staff. I don't know. Weaver's a big fucking guy. I think you think even he'd be able to take like Zach Sealer and Calais Campbell?
100%.
So Zach Seiler, Calais Campbell, Jalen Phillips, along with
Jalen Phillips has fake pecs. Let me just put that out right there. That is very obvious that guy's pecs are fake.
You think he's got pec implants?
No, I think he spray paints them on. If I'm being real, I feel like
he does what the movie stars do.
I feel like he spray paints them.
They tan in a way
because you can't tell me a guy that tore his Achilles.
What going on?
Because think about this. He tore his Achilles, last November? What was it? I'm
Yeah.
going to just say November.
Yeah.
He tore his
He
Achilles
came back
last
in just
November.
under 10 months.
And you're going to tell me that he looks like that when he hasn't worked out in what, months?
Color.
I got to be real. You're kind of checking him out a little hard there to be
He has a
worried
nice
about his
body.
pecs.
I'm not
He does
gonna lie,
have
he has
the
he
guy
has a
is an
beautiful body.
Adonis. I mean, he is an Adonis.
He looks like a god.
It is kind of interesting
happening?
how earlier we were talking about people's girlfriends and the
Yeah,
insinuation.
him inquiring about whether or not Reason was available, and getting in the
Are you checking out
DMs.
Reason's pecs? Is that what you're doing?
Have you checked out Reason's
Reason doesn't
pecs?
have pecs.
How would you know? Have you checked him out?
Jesus.
I mean, you could just tell. You could tell. Like, let's be real here.
Yeah, he got pecs like The Rock, doesn't he?
Oh, I mean, Jalen Phillips has pecs like the Rocks, but the question is are they real? That's my question. Because
I think you need to investigate these warlocks. Is what
Yeah,
you
I
need to do, bro.
I've been questioning it for a while. I follow him on Instagram to try and figure out if they're real or not. Because I just don't see how a guy that tore his Achilles in November still looks like that, even though he's not able to do anything. Like, he was sitting on the couch for 8
Hold
months.
on, just hold up. Just wait a second. Following him on Instagram to
Just
monitor
check
his
him out.
body to
Just check
see
him out.
if he's real or
Yeah,
not.
I
It's
swear to you, that's what I
fucking
do.
wild. I believe you. I
followed
believe you.
him on. I followed him on Instagram a couple months ago, or a year ago maybe, and I wanted to see his body transformation. And you're trying to tell me?
Can I ask you, true talk, do you know the history behind the Achilles, like the actual
I know you can't walk on a torn
knowledge
Achilles.
based on it? Do you understand where that came from, right?
I mean, I know you can't walk on a torn Achilles, so I don't know how you're working out on a torn Achilles, getting those
Well, you can
gains.
still
Okay,
do.
all
You
right.
can still do your upper body, which
I
is the
don't think
pecs.
you were- I don't
the
think
part
you-
in question. Is there other parts of his
Call
body
me
you question?
I question his thighs as well, if I'm being honest.
Checking out his thighs, man.
Jesus.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude.
I think his thighs are real, though. I do think his thighs are real. I just question how they're so big. Tua
So
did the
big.
same thing. I mean,
Sorry.
Tua had thick thighs too.
Tua does have
Hey.
thick thighs.
Oh my god.
Say about thick thighs.
Thick thighs save lives.
Are you
Damn
trying
right.
to say he gets thigh implants?
No, I think his thighs are real. I just don't
Thighs
think
are real.
his-
What's your thought about his glutes?
Gluteus maximus.
Yeah, what's your thought there?
I mean, I don't like to look at that. You know, I don't.
Did you say you like to look at that?
No, I
Doesn't
don't.
he?
I
Doesn't
don't.
like
Whoa.
that.
Oh,
That's
damn.
fine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is purely scientific, and really, the bold question: does he spray tan to get his
Oh,
body
100%.
to look that way? That's what you're claiming. It's 100%.
No. I think he spray paints abs. I think the abs that he shows, I think he spray paints them. I don't think those are real. Because there's no way. Like, there is absolutely no way that you tear your Achilles and you still look like that 10 months later. Like, like, how is that even possible? You eat a fruit roll up and you get fat.
All right, I'm just
Like,
gonna.
how is
I'm
that
just gonna.
possible?
I'm just gonna. Well, I bet you, homie hasn't eaten a fruit roll up in 15 years.
He looks like he eats broccoli, and that's his source for the day.
You know what he eats? He eats what his personal chef is making for him while they're monitoring his blood, his sleep, his freaking liquids, his everything. Every single meal, anything he puts in his body is checked, monitored, and prepared in the most professional of manners. That's the reality of it with a lot of these athletes. That's number one.
But a lot of these athletes don't look like the way Jalen Phillips does.
He's obviously really good at it. And he has genetics on his side. Let's be for real, right? Like, that's genetics. Now, I will tell you this: a very unspoken thing is when a player gets injured and they get surgery and they do certain things. How do I put this? They're not monitored by the NFL after the injury through the surgery in the scrutiny that they are as an active player. Meaning that they're on special types of antibiotics, special types of growth hormones and steroids that
then-
are relative to their injury, but they still are those things. And
But that then causes acne though, and he doesn't have any of that. So then it's.
are you sure he doesn't have acne?
I mean, unless he uses makeup. So who knows?
Have
Maybe.
you?
Oh my God.
I don't want to ask this question. It's getting bad, bro. I can't ask it.
Well, I just wanted to know, are you zooming in to check his body for acne?
I'm telling you right now, every single time Jalen Phillips posts a story, I screenshot the story so I could zoom in on the camera. And then
Okay.
also,
Wow.
every time he posts a picture like of his feed, I zoom in on the picture and I like it and everything. I mean, I try and
Nice.
support. I like the stuff and like that. But yeah,
I got you. Listen, that's good. You should always hit the like button on content you're
100%.
dealing with, because someone took the time and energy, and obviously in Jalen Phillips's
100%.
case, a lot of time and energy to get his body looking in a way that may or may not be real. The question is this, buddy. Say Jalen bought well, let me gather myself. Say Jalen Phillips isn't everything he appears to be, that the abs are slightly fake, that he is wearing makeup to cover up the acne. He
From the
still looks,
nutrition, yeah.
but by your standards, and you are literally private eye investigating this.
Oh, I'm on. I'm telling you. I've been looking at his pictures for a year.
But you still don't know for certain. My point is, you still don't know for certain if he's wearing makeup and or fake spray tanning. So because of your uncertainty, even though all the investigative journalism reporting that you're doing, that's a win on his side. It might as well be real now. You see what I'm saying? It is the reality that he does that or doesn't do that, because you can't even prove it, right?
No, I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. But I mean, I get that point and everything, but I
He's
just feel
working
like
extra hard to make sure his body not only performs in peak perfection, but looks as such too. And you've confirmed it.
if it were real, then I would agree.
Even
with
if
that.
it's fake,
But if
still,
I just don't
but
believe his pecs are real. Like, there's no way.
you don't have to believe, but you can't prove differently. So they might as well be real as
Like, I just want
real
to feel
as
it.
me and you.
Like, if I could feel it, then I would know if it's real or not.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
Now we finally pulled back the final layer of the onion. Why? What interests you about?
Because so let me tell you, this is like a serious thing that I've been trying to figure out for a while. Like, it's been a couple months where I've looked at the pictures ever since he's came back from that. Not came back, but ever since he was rehabbing from the Achilles injury, and he was showing like topless pictures of him on Instagram and topless pictures of stories and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And he
On
you
the
know,
boat, you know what I'm
topless
saying?
pictures
At
of
the
him,
beach.
or him in a mirror selfie with the shirt off, stuff like that. Every time I've seen that, and he has a perfect body, I'm like, dude, there's absolutely no way. So if I could just feel it and make sure that, like, it's what it, you know what I mean, like, in no weird way. Like, I don't mean it in
Yeah,
a
I
weird
got
way
you.
at
I
all.
got you. You just want to go, hey, Jalen Phillips.
Let me feel them. Let me feel them
big,
pecs real quick.
big, huge fan. Totally. Wow, bro. You look awesome. Look at them pecs and just reach out and touch them.
Yeah, if I could do that and I could feel it, then I'll be like, all right, cool, they're real. And I'll let him know. I'll be like, yo, they're real pecs, are they? And if he says yeah, then I'll be like, let me feel them and let me make sure they're real or not. and if he says
True
no,
talk.
then that means they're fake.
True talk. You're not licensed to carry a firearm, are you?
Wait, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
You're not licensed to carry a firearm, are you?
Well, it depends on the on what I would want to get, if you know what I mean. Like, it depends on if you want to get your medical card or if you want to get firearms, because you can't have both.
Got you, buddy. Got you. Okay, so you've chosen a life of peace rather than a life of potential conflict.
Well, no, I mean, I haven't chosen anything. I don't have either card, but
Gotcha.
I'm just saying there's a choice there that could be made in
All right, let's get
in a
back to
later
these
date.
pecs. Okay. Yeah, I would highly recommend, and this is sound advice, do not reach out and grope a professional athlete. I don't think they appreciate that.
Well, I'm not saying I'm gonna grope him.
Well, you want to
Dude, he
touch
would
his
let him
pecs,
do
though.
that anyway.
Play
No,
us
what
the
I'm
scenario of how you're gonna.
all right. So this is what I was thinking.
Yeah, thank you.
So what I was thinking was something like, all right, so I see my training camp, I see him at a game, I clap him up, and I'm like, yo, are those real? And he's like, what real? And I was like, those pecs, like you got that 8-pack for real? And then he'd be like, yeah, and I'd be like, nah, that
Pull
shit's
his
spray.
shirt up. He'd pull his shirt up and show you right then and there.
Well, no, I'd be like, yeah, that shit is spray painted, and he'd be like, no, it isn't. I worked hard for this, and I'm like, oh, show me what you like. Show me your gym routine. Show me what you eat every day, and let me see.
Yeah,
if it's
I've
real or
kind of
not.
done that with chicks too. I mean,
And let me see.
yeah, you kind of like put them on blast a little bit to get them to be kind of insecure,
Exactly.
and then
And if you hear an then you already know it's fake. It's that simple.
Yo,
So,
dog, that was a great way to put it. It's fate. They
yeah,
go, it worked. The ploy
yeah,
worked. This is a tactic by men. You kind of dog them down a little and try them on some shit. Oh, you think you got the best dance moves? Let me see, or something like that. Like, nah, girl, you know what I'm saying? You can't do that, and then it's just, I
100%.
get you. That's how.
If
So
they stutter,
you're gonna play him. You're gonna
yeah,
play him, is what you're saying.
if they stutter, that means they're lying. So if you start stuttering, then I'm like, bruh, stop lying to me. Just let me know that
Wow. Could
that
you
you're not.
imagine if you
That
start stuttering?
exact. That's what I'm trying to figure. I like you guys might think I'm trolling, but I'm being dead serious. Like, I've looked at his pictures multiple times. I mean, I've screenshotted his stories on Instagram, and I've zoomed in to see if they're real. Like, this is an investigation that I've been trying to figure out for a couple months now, and this is the first time I've gone public with it. Like, but I just gotta know if that body's like real or not. To be honest, that's it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Because I have my suspicions. That's it.
I have no suspicions. I think he is just a guy who really puts it in, buddy. But let me know, because it sounds like you're gonna get to the bottom of this, and I need to know how that unfolds, to be honest with you. Wow.
100%.
Huh. Mark
But hey,
says no Diddy.
I have another question though. So for the quarterback position, do you guys think we're gonna get a third quarterback and stash on the practice squad, or do you think we're just gonna roll with Skylar Thompson and Tua?
There'll be a
Yeah, we've
third
kind of
out of practice.
yeah, there'll be a practice squad
We'll
guy
get some
that
jabroni from unknown school.
What
Yeah.
about Tommy DeVito? What do you guys think about him?
yeah, fine,
Sucks.
him. He sounds perfect.
We is he? I mean, he's Italian. I don't know if we like that in Miami or not.
What the fuck? What do you? No, first of all, it's Florida. We like everything all over, bro. First of all, and like, it was the mob that kind of built all this shit down here. Anyhow, they're all over here.
Then he would fit like a glove.
Especially during the wintertime.
Because I feel like Tommy DeVito won the Giants at some games last year. So if we could,
I think he's better than their starting quarterback. That's for sure.
Daniel Jones.
I hate Daniel Jones.
Don't say that. Don't say that
Jones.
because I drafted Malik Neighbors in fantasy and I cannot.
Well, it sucks for you because he doesn't have a quarterback.
Round 1, 2, I drafted him.
That's a waste of a pick.
Why would you do that?
Because it's a PPR league, so I got him round 1, pick 5. It was between him and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I said, let me go with Malik Neighbors.
Oh my god, I would have gone with St. Brown 10,000 times over.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Amon-Ra just gave me a bad vibe after watching the NFL, the thing on Netflix. So I wanted to go with Malik Neighbors. But
I would have gone with Marvin Harrison Jr.
But yeah, I mean
He's talking about that show Receiver, I think it's called, or something.
Yeah,
like
the one on Netflix,
yeah.
Receiver. I liked Amon-Ra on the show, but I thought he was a little cringy, so I just didn't want to draft him.
I would have gone with Marvarati Marv.
No, he already got drafted.
You could even went Odunze or whatever his name is.
Well, I think the first 5. Because I was round 1, pick 5 out of 12 teams. I think the first 4 was Marvin Harrison was round 1, pick 1. I think Christian McCaffrey was pick 2. Tyreek was pick 3. Pick 4 was CD, and then I had pick 5, and then that's when I chose to go with Malik.
Jefferson.
I'm going to give everybody some free fantasy football advice right now. Do not, regardless of the league you're in, it could be even a rookie league, right? Do not draft Marvin Harrison Jr. first. overall, number 1 overall. As much as I love the guy and I think he has all the talent to be the best receiver, or at least the best rookie receiver for sure, he doesn't have the quarterback whatsoever, bro. It's not going to happen for him, I feel, because of that. So don't draft him number 1 overall like that. Just being honest.
I thought it was a great pick.
It's your opinion, bro. I just don't think.
If he was there at 5,
I'm telling you, I don't believe in Kyle Murray, bro. I really don't.
100%. I agree with that. But also, if you think about it, who else does Arizona have? Like, their only receiver is Marvin Harrison. Oh, McBride. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my team is pretty stacked. I'm not gonna lie. I like my team. I have Jonathan Brooks and Zaire White as my 2 running backs, which I like. Zamir White is the guy from Oakland, I believe, or Las Vegas now. And then Jonathan Brooks is on. Well, he's on the PUP list as well. And then I have Ty J Spears as well.
Yeah, I think you're gonna be. It's a rough league. What do you got? 20 people in that league or something?
Not 12.
True talk. We're gonna do a little bit of fantasy this year. I suggest tuning in.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, I'll tune in for sure. 100%. I want to hear all about that. Start for the starters for the week, all that stuff. I would love to hear about all that stuff.
Yeah,
but
we're definitely gonna do that.
Quarterback is Jordan Love. I have Jordan Love at quarterback. I have Malik Neighbors as a wide receiver. DJ Moore. No, not DJ Moore. I almost got DJ Moore. What's his name? The guy from the Jets, the 6'5" guy that was on the Chargers, but now on the Jets. Mike Williams. And then my running back.
No legs, Williams.
Yeah, that guy.
Okay.
Who knows?
And then,
I mean, that's a roll of the dice type of pick. But go ahead.
And then Ty J Spears. I just traded for Ramondre Stevenson, so I'm pretty stoked about that. I traded who did I trade for Ramondre Stevenson? I traded Jackson Smith and Jigba and Joe Mixon for
Joe Mixon.
Are you freaking
for Ramondre Stevenson?
Joe Mixon.
Is that a bad trade?
Yeah.
Was that a
terrible
bad trade?
Terrible trade. Terrible trade.
I also hold on. I also got back Christian Watson, and I also got back and Terry McLaurin. And I got Ramondre Stevenson and
I mean, I guess Terry.
You traded
Scary
for
Terry
Ramondre
might do something, but Ramondre Stevenson
Patriots
sucks.
have no offensive line. That's all I hear in the radio. The Patriots no line.
Well, what I was thinking, what happened was I looked at the depth chart of the Patriots and I saw that they had Ramondre Stevenson and then a bunch of bums after that at running back. So I was just like,
no offensive line.
and listen, he's got something there that they're going new quarterback. They're going to run the ball. Maybe he gets a lot of touches, right? Maybe
that's what I was thinking.
Run, in a PPR league, maybe you get something there. But Mixon, Mixon, no. I think he's going to get plenty of touches with whatchamacallit.
Yeah, I really think they're going to try to run smash mouth football again like they did before.
So that was a bad trade then, huh?
Probably.
Damn.
Because I don't know. I thought I had something there. I really like the Zamir. I like the Zam. I think my best pick was the Zamir White pick though. The Las Vegas Raiders guy.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think who else do I have? Oh, I picked up TJ Hawkinson in like the 5th round. I saw that he was.
Didn't they put TJ Hawkinson either on PUP or IR?
Yeah, he's on PUP, but he'll be back by week 6.
Okay.
So I got him round 5 or 6. Just a stash for 6 weeks, 5 or 6 weeks.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Zamir White will get. I don't know, dude. I'm not sold on him. I'm not sold on the Raiders. I mean, I guess because Josh Jacobs is gone, they're gonna need him. Then he's gonna be the guy to step up.
That's what I was thinking.
Maybe, but I don't know.
How do you feel about Jonathan Brooks, the guy that's on PUP but will be back in 4 or 5 weeks? That tore his ACL last November-ish, I think it was.
The Panthers should be
the Panthers guy, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know how to feel. He's coming off an ACL injury.
Because I'm trying to trade for him. I'm trying to trade.
Don't trade for him. Let him sit, dude. Somebody might. You only got 12 people in your league. I promise you the waiver wire's got some gems. What you need to do is pay attention and see who's a guy that's turning up that you can scoop, then trade because he goes on like a 2-game tear and pick up somebody who's a little bit more consistent to recycle the bottom of your roster. That's what it sounds like you need to do.
That's what I should have did with
last year was
Puka.
Puka. Yeah, I got Puka last year.
I picked
by
up
doing
Puka,
that.
and then he was a gem, and then I didn't trade him. I kept him.
You got to trade those guys and spread them out to your weaker position groups. When you hit gold like that, it's hard to let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've hit gold like that as well. I remember a couple years ago, like a while ago, Latavius Murray. Remember the Oakland Raiders?
Yeah.
When he broke out, I picked him up too. Like when he went crazy that first year.
So that's why you're high on this Zamir White. You're feeling like you can go back to the same mine and get gold again. That's what it sounds like, bro.
Maybe. I remember back in the day I got Elliott when he was a rookie. When he was good. I got Bijan last year in the first round. I like the rookies. Oh, I got Saquon as a rookie, which I love.
Yeah, rookie running backs you can, depending on where you're drafting them, rookie running backs you could do some damage with, because typically teams that take rookie running backs are one or two things. One, they're a team that doesn't have a lot, and a rookie running back can come out here and be a huge part in their offense. Or two, that rookie running back is in it on a team that's already stacked, and he's that last piece position group weapon in which he's going to be getting a lot of work because of that too. So,
I'm in another league where I actually got Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and I got Malik Neighbors on the same team.
That sounds like a good.
And I got another receiver. I got another one, but I drafted like 2 receivers in a row. It's PPR, so I just drafted a bunch of receivers. It was Amon-Ra. Shoot, let me check real quick what it is.
Well, don't worry about it, because I'm going to be shutting this bitch down, dude. We've gone 3 hours now, a little over midnight. 53-man roster breakdown. Interesting stuff. Got off topic there a couple of times with some interesting gossip that True Talks found out there on the streets, which, I mean, I don't know. He's doing investigative reporting, obviously. I mean, he's even studying Dolphins players that could potentially be wearing makeup. So we'll have to see how that pans out in the end. True Talk. I appreciate you coming through. Greg, Ali, as always. Guys, come back.
Was the guy, by the way. Just letting you know.
Oh, Olave? Well, yeah. I mean, I know Ali's happy to hear that. He loves Olave, so.
No, I don't.
I know. I'm just fucking with you, buddy.
Relax. Oh, okay. All right.
I just wanted to see if you were listening. Hit the like button, everybody. Share the video. Subscribe. Get in the comment sections at the end of the video. Let us know what you guys think, and we'll see you guys next time. Fins up.